Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome.
What up?
Welcome. We should be on both platforms. I'm looking it up right now. Yep.
It looks like they're both live. They both got a green check, so I think we're
I see
rolling.
him. I see him.
Fantastic.
So,
Keep
how
on rolling.
guys' week's been?
Good.
Good.
Oh, me lucky charms. He's magically delicious week. Take that for what you will.
Mine's been. It hasn't been without like some craziness, but most of it's held over from last week.
Yeah.
I mean, I could expect some craziness. You know, you do live in Ohio. I mean, it's officially no longer raining men in Ohio, just cats and dogs, from what I hear. But
Well, it's not raining them; they're just getting ate. Ain't nothing wrong with a good well done. I wouldn't go medium rare. But
hey, it's one way to get a whole new voting demographic on your side.
that's right. Well, I am drinking Sagamore Rye Dusty Dance.
I have that bottle too, but it's downstairs.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known early. I would have grabbed it. That is a tasty bottle. That's one of the first 7-year picks ever.
It goes really well with the before mentioned cigar.
Oh.
The aforementioned.
Aforementioned. Does that mean we might be mentioning something new?
We are.
Oh.
What's up, Stacy and Marty?
Stacy, are you back stateside?
No.
You look like you had.
She's
Still overseas? I mean, I keep on seeing the pictures and I'm like, woo, let's go. Some guy's photobombing her every picture, though. I don't know about that.
Don't steal my thunder, Chris.
Oh, 3 a.m. in Belfast. You're just now getting your night started. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, Zach, I had to steal your comment, buddy.
It was a good one.
It was. You were spot on with it. It was great. And that picture, it was perfect. You nailed it.
Because he was just off to the side. You know, you could just see his reflection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. She drank a lot of Guinness, though. There have been a lot of Guinness in them photos.
Well, you know, hey.
I can only imagine. She did get to hang out, I think, with Master Blender for Bushmills. So, like that's pretty freaking cool. Like that's
Dude,
up there, man. That's like.
I'll have to look at this for you guys. There is a Bushmills pick at the Woodman's that just got there this week, I heard.
Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to say it's like a 97 proofer from what they told me.
Cool.
Alex Thomas.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm on the Valor, and one of my favorites on the Valor, which is the LaFrog. And
I've got that right now. I have some All Hallows treat from Omarang that is a beautiful Imperial Peanut Butter Stout. It doesn't taste like peanut butter, kids. It tastes like an Imperial Stout. And I'm drinking what I thought went really good with the Valor.
Oh,
that would be some Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, some A119, because it was mentioned to me before I came on chat that 2 of the guys from the baseball group are not going to be able to go to the Elijah Craig Barrel Pick.
Boo.
And they asked if I wanted to go at Heaven Hill.
Boo.
That sounds terrible.
It's like, do I want to make another drive to Kentucky to do another barrel pick? It'll be like my 3rd one in Kentucky in 2 months. What the hell?
Oh, no, poor you. I don't know if that's something I'd be like all sad about. Well, it's closer for me, I guess, than it is for you to drive.
It is closer for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't bad. Little Green River at 132. It's sitting in the 6th floor.
Oh, yeah.
They're expecting that to come out around the 134 range. So
that'd be nice.
Boom! It'll actually be a couple. It'll be a couple days, like 5 days short. When it gets dumped, it'll be like Is it 5 days? No, it'll be 8 days short. Or will it? Wait, wrong date. I gotta look at my book. It's in my book. It's like 5. It's gonna be like 5 days short of being a 6-year, which would
Yeah,
be
it was
their
like a week.
which
You
would be their oldest barrel picks. Yeah, there's only one 6-year that went out so far. So,
Yeah. What's up?
oh,
Miss
Benjamin,
Ben.
Mr.
you have to
Benjamin,
turn the
all about the Benjamins.
comments on.
Say what? Say what?
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Oh
Stacey
man,
said Alex Thomas. He led the
She
yeah, she led the
led the
month.
tour.
That's awesome.
again.
Yeah,
I suppose a wee mighty, and I just a little bit.
I think that would be wee amazing.
Hey,
I
just look
do
like
I do love some Guinness. Ooh,
You know, I mean, on the
door
right
crack.
the right time, if I'm really hungry and I haven't had dinner, then yeah, because it'll be dinner.
Come on, man. There's less calories in a Guinness than a Miller Lite, and Guinness gets all the hate.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it fills me up. I like it.
yeah, I'm not drinking the 6-pack. That's for sure.
Ah,
Oh, come on. Pony up, pony boy.
No,
Yes.
I don't drink carbonated stuff like that anymore, man.
it gets you all bloated. And
Yeah,
It's not carbonation, it's nitrogen.
but
whatever.
but they say that it's that effect of the way that Americans pour their beer too.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
yeah, they don't want no head on it. You should have head on it because
Yeah.
that gets rid of all the gases. It's just like making coffee. If you're doing French press and everything, that's why I love doing French press. It's given me a new love of coffee because I have got ultra nerdy with it of doing the initial quick pour and then stirring when you just have enough to cover the beans to let it off gas before you then fill it the rest of the way to let it infuse. Holy cow. I thought the French press was doing good, but now doing that makes a huge difference. The acidity levels drop, the bitterness drops, dude. It makes it good. Sean Linscomb, pull your pants back up, my friend.
What's up, Sean?
What's
Hey,
up?
that guy recently got a hole-in-one.
Nice.
There's a great video on Instagram of it.
So gentlemen,
Yeah.
Blake Benson, Black Shirt Mafia.
What?
Yeah. Battalion,
man.
Black Shirt Moth.
What's up, man?
That's how we go, bro. I mean, Zach's always wearing a black shirt, so
Rolling
normal.
with the homies.
Yeah. So the new release is here.
What?
What?
The new release
And
is
the clusterfuck is active. So
Clusterfuck is active.
hoping that everybody's signing up for that.
Yeah. You're gonna want to
We're
get in on
excited.
it. There's gonna be a lot of fun stuff in there. Members
Yeah.
experience, a lot of stuff going on with that. You know,
Oh,
private cigars. Eventually down the road, as we get enough people in there, you know, probably do some picks.
hey, Sarge, don't be touching my privates that you got.
Buffalo.
I think he let that one sail over the head there, Zach.
Oh man, you think?
I think. P.S. That was in reference to my baseball sticks, buddy.
I didn't say anything about your sticks.
Oh man,
Dude, my crabs are doing great. The wife actually has her beer in her go down south with your mouth koozie while she's cleaning the house right now.
Oh,
Yes, good things happening. Good
that's
things happening in
that shit's
Illinois,
hilarious.
thanks to the northern territories of Australia. Oh, look at that
Oh
sexiness!
no,
What
oh
is
no,
that?
oh
What
So
is
no,
that?
oh no,
the
everybody, there
newest,
it is.
the newest.
Ton, 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 ton. 1775.
So that is the band for the newest cigar. It's a Robusto called the Ton. The Ton being short for Ton Tavern. 1775 is when my Marine Corps came alive in a bar. So Ton Tavern is where the Marine Corps was first formed in 1775. So that is a Robusto San Andreas cigar. It's a San Andreas wrapper with a Dominican and a Cubano blend filler.
There's a whole lot of America on that label.
There's a whole lot of America on there.
There is a whole lot of America on there.
It is a very tasty cigar. Definitely different than the Valor. Comes in punching a little bit above that, a little bit spicier, a little bit bolder, much more towards what you would look for a spicy Maduro type of cigar with really nice notes off the rip. I got a lot of, I don't know, a lot of leather, a lot of pepper, a lot of earth tones. Got some cool changes as it went through, but that will all be more information you will find out as you get them online and when they jump up there, which they will hopefully be up there this week.
Yep, Chris, I talked to James too, their national brand ambassador, about the same thing. So it's looking like we might be working with the Larkin soon. That is formerly what was called Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company, which is right across the street, basically, from the Turk. They just released
Bobby,
an 8-year bottled in bond at the Bourbon Festival that got some of the highest ratings.
Oh, there you go. Can you do one of these numbers? There it goes. That's a lot better. Still got a little bit of, but yeah, you guys can see it's got the eagle on top with the ton, and then the 1775 there on the bottom. Chris knocked it out of the park again, shall we say.
I mean, I'm kind of supposed to.
I mean, listen.
So yeah, if you're looking for a little bit more of a little bit more girth, right? It's a little bit richer, more peppery notes, darker.
A little girthy to go with that earthy, baby.
That's right.
Girthy and earthy, baby. Get it done. If you haven't done it, please go over to Instagram. Follow us on there. You're going to get more notes, more tasting notes before they come out. You're going to find out some more stuff. We're talking about the Clusterfuck tonight. You'll see some stuff over there that's going to be shown over there coming up really soon. So you're going to want to be on there to see the cool stuff happening. This isn't always the greatest platform to show everything on.
And a totally different pairing profile as well, Bobby.
Yeah, totally different pairing. Matter of fact, we were having it. I had one with Steve. After he bought his, he had one with me. We're sitting there, and he usually likes a lower proof bourbon, and we were sitting there with that, and he was like, this does not work with this. And I said, no. It pretty much just wiped it out. I said, but I think I have something that will go with it. And so I poured him that Barrel Select Sagamore Rye, and that went pretty good.
Hey, Chris, listen, that's my MO, man. I'm an Irish Exeter, and I just go.
Dude, you haven't done an Irish exit in a while, but it was great because you were like in slow-mo packing up to go. It wasn't your typical just push the button and go. You packed up and drifted off with the phones.
I was done, dude. I was done. I was about to fall over. I was like, I need to get inside. I
When
need to
was
go on the
that?
couch.
Oh,
Saturday.
we were talking to Mr. Tats after he got back from the Kentucky football game on a Facebook private.
Nice.
Yeah, we just got together and shot the shit about what's up, what's going on, how his Kentucky trips going.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, hey Zach, we didn't last much longer than you. It was about 3 more minutes, man. So no, you weren't that far ahead.
I was just
We
like,
were
no
right
more.
behind you,
I was like, no more. I was like, yeah.
dude. All of us were like this.
Current location is 930 Laurel Avenue, Ashland, Ohio.
Well, now we know where Bobby is.
Oh, yeah.
That was really weird that happened out of nowhere, right?
Oh, that's right. They did prove Donald.
They did prove Donald is real, and he is much taller than Yoda. I had no clue.
What?
Much sexier, as Ben would say, than Yoda is as well. I now know why he has so many women at his house fighting over him.
I thought it was all the motorcycles in the garage that he doesn't ride.
So they're up in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They came back in.
Yeah, they're not.
Dude, they did something cool. They rode the train on in.
Yeah. What do you think about that new Amtrak that's going to go from Chicago through Cleveland, Pennsylvania, down the coast to Miami?
Pretty fancy because that's getting connected and hooked up with Rockford here as the end of the line, because we're getting our Rockford line at the same time that they've had in the works for 10 years. And they're starting that, and that's going to go right into that line. So
I saw someone posted something that was pretty funny. It says you could pay $282 for a 32-hour trip or $171 to get a 2-hour plane ride.
I mean, if you put kids on there and you got one of the the suites and let them see the country, it's a pretty cool option, because you're going to see a lot of the big cities on the way, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, and you're gonna see parts of the country that you just don't get to see.
Yeah.
I think it'd be one of those things that I would definitely do at least once, because Cleveland's going to be a stop. I would just jump on the train, and write it down. I don't know that I could go all the way to Miami, but I might find a place somewhere in the middle there to jump off in Florida.
Well, you could always stop in Jacksonville and see Cheech.
Probably going to go down past Jacksonville. I've been there before.
No, I'm just saying it's somewhere to stop.
To say hi to a friend.
Yeah, if you looked at all the stops, though, it'd be a good whiskey trip.
It could be. Now, that's true. There's a lot of good stops on there on a whiskey trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of good ones.
Yeah.
That's what I looked at. Boy, you see where my brain is.
I was just thinking about where would I want to get off to go to the beach at?
I guess my issue would be there's no smoking car, is there?
Well, I'd be getting whatever one is smoking.
I don't think they do anymore.
I don't think so either.
Well,
you'd have to hang out the back or jump off, at the stops.
I'd just go sit in the back of the caboose somewhere and just chill. What are you doing back here? Yeah, taking in the second smoke from the choo-choo. So, Chris, tell us about
Amtrak does not have smoking cars anymore.
Tell us about some of the things that people can expect from the Clusterfu.
Sexiness, lots and lots of sexiness. So we have a really badass one of a kind shirt that the Clusterfuck's going to be getting. You guys have seen the preview of that.
Yeah.
It's not completely finished. The sketch is completely finished. So you guys have seen that. You know what that is. It's freaking awesome, if I do say so myself. You were gonna see our first official. The Clusterfuck does have their own mascot. So it is a mascot-based shirt, and the Clusterfuck does have its own mascot. So if you do think along the lines of Marines, you will be seeing a bulldog style mascot.
Sick.
That's number one. We've been talking to and getting things figured out for custom lighters and cutters.
Yep.
So working on that. I talked to somebody. We're gonna have some cigar and bourbon stuff that goes together. You know, some
Cheers,
talking to
Jamie.
him right now about the nice stave ashtray slash bourbon
Oh,
stand. He has a direct hookup and gets all of his stuff directly from the good old Jim Beam and from the turkey on a weekly
sweet.
basis, and builds ashtrays and things like that, and get them lasered and stuff like that. So we're trying to figure that out. He's putting some stuff together, some different interesting stuff to see how it works out, and those will be things that we do put up for the clusterfuck to vote on, because we want you to be part of it. We don't want to just pick everything. We want you to be part of all this. Just like we talked about as we get going and we talk about blends, or, you know, what you would like to see for LEs, you're going to be part of that as well. We're going to take polls. We're going to talk about it. You're going to be part of it. This just isn't a, hey, you're paying to get what we throw your way.
No,
You're 100% part of this for the whole ride, man. You know, that's the one thing we wanted to make sure of, that everybody felt and feels like they're getting their value, because you are part of this. You know, you're gonna be part of the whole ride. You're gonna see behind the scenes, from artwork to product development, whether it's accessories, whether it's us doing the cigars. You know, you'll be along for the ride. You know, it's gonna be all inclusive. You
Yep.
know, it's your backstage pass to everything that happens, and you get to see it. You know, so you're part of the team. You know, we also have barrel picks that we're going to be doing. Start out with one for sure a year. Depending on how many members we have, we might do more than one a year. We have like 3 places lined up that have already given us the green light on that, so we just have to pick what we're going to do. You'll also get to help decide which ones we do in order. You know, so that's cool. And we'll have drawings. You put your name in. We'll tell you when we're going to do it. Put your name in, and we will be randomly drawing members to go do the barrel picks for the clusterfuck. I mean, so it's all inclusive, man. It's whiskey based. It's cigar based. It's 100% behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You get to be a little bit of everything, just like us. So, and it's pretty cool when you consider everything else that's out there. You know, it's a one-time fee for the whole year.
Yep.
It's limited membership. When the memberships are gone, they're gone. We're never going to go over that amount of memberships. Somebody's going to have to leave for you to get in. We're not doing automatic recurring charges. You will get an email,
Yep.
and you'll have 15 days to reply to the email to reserve your spot again. But we're not doing recurring ACH charges. They're, you know, that just doesn't float well with everybody. We've seen some bad things happen with different groups, different distilleries, all kinds of things with the recurring charges and nightmares of canceling and everything else. It's been rough, man. It's been rough. And even with big distilleries, it's been rough on that with some people, and we don't want that. So, you know, 1 calendar year, 365 days, get access to the vault. So that'll give you access to all the private cigars that we're doing for groups and distilleries as well. We already have one that's in. It just showed up today, so that'll be going out to that group probably beginning of next week, because I'll see them maybe by the end of this week. So that's there. There's 3 more in the works, and then we have like 4 other ones that we're working with people on. So that means that vault, you know, which we're going to open up only to the Clusterfuck members, you know, once or twice a year, depending. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you can't get normally from us that's just going to be there, that you're going to have access to, as well as the limited edition drops that we're going to do every year in there. That's going to come with special merch that go exactly with that cigar. And, you know, like you've listened to these 2 joke about, the first one, the gear and the cigar alone, like, you're gonna want it just because it's hilarious and awesome, and well, the cigar's a freaking banger too. But I just want the merch and the cigar band myself, even though the cigar's super good.
Man, I'll tell you what, that one's gonna be a banger. That's for sure. You know, like the merch on that one is a knockout of the park. You know, so.
Hey Blake, I'm not going to ask you 2,500 tacos through the end of September, and we might run that for a few more days just because we got a late start in September on that. We might run to, I don't know, maybe the 15th. Bobby can make that decision. I'm just throwing it out there off the hip here. But right now it's $199 for 365 days. It'll go up to $249.99.
250.
$249.
$249 on October 15th.
Yeah. But until then, just $199.99. Not 2,500, buddy. No. You don't need to pay us that.
No.
We want it to be fun and inclusive. We don't want it to break the bank.
Yeah, no, we'll extend that till the 15th of October.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah. No, but I'm super excited for it. You know, I mean, not only that, but every cigar that anybody orders, whether it be distilleries or special interest groups or whatever that order bulk cigars, I always order some of my own out of that so that we have a bulk of cigars.
Mm-hmm.
The bulk cigars will only be offered at you can buy one. It won't be like you can buy like a 5-pack or whatever. It'll be like, or we'll have special offerings every now and then that we might just decide to send something or whatever. You never know. You know, but the cool thing is no matter what goes out, you know, the people involved in there will be their own sticks that are going to be in there. There may be, you know, somewhere we sit and talk together as a group and go through and do a tasting and do a collective group one. There's going to be a lot of opportunities and a lot of good shit to do. You know, down the road, I can imagine having a clusterfuck get together that we schedule. You know, that would be not only just a get together, but maybe a private rolling event dedicated to just the clusterfuck members only. So yeah, there's a lot of availability out there.
So go to Chris's comment prior to that. Is there a drop bear level for international members? And for anybody that doesn't know what a drop bear member is, that's the koala level.
That a drop bear is a koala with syphilis. Let's get that straight.
No, it's just he fell asleep and let go and then ended up on your face because he fell out of a tree.
So they're still. How long are they still in the States for?
Into October, through the first week of October.
It's usually
they still have to take it. But even if they took them back, they still have to declare them and eat shit on taxes, right?
Yeah.
There's no way around that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he's asking about. Is there a drop bear level for the international members that it's prohibited? So at least when he gets over here, he would have something. I don't know. Listen, you know what, Chris?
Well, I can tell you this. I mean, if I have a member that's out, I can't. So I don't have it set up necessarily to do international shipping. But if someone happens to be going through, I would have no issue. Whatever is there or whatever you did and all that stuff would be held in the vault until you got here and would get delivered to you.
I think my son sprayed my cigar with cologne.
No, it's not.
No.
I thought it was my shirt since I got it out of the wash, bringing my arm up. I thought that's what I was smelling. I think he sprayed my cigar with cologne.
Oh.
It's not ruining it, but I can. It's not in the flavor at all, but I can smell it. So there's no need for a retro because I smell cologne.
Oh my God. Well, Jesus.
Oh,
Brute,
What the hell is?
Brute
Why the hell is he
33.
wearing cologne, man? Yeah, Brute. There you go. Real men wear Old Spice. Oh God.
yeah. I don't know. Kids, dude. Kids.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as Zoe used to say, Dad, you wouldn't believe the amount of Axe body spray I had to deal with today.
Oh. Oh.
She's like, they're on the bus and they're just spraying it.
But you also have the alternative, right? The alternative
Yeah.
is no
Dude,
cologne.
the girls with their pink frickin' body sprays.
Well, I mean, ultimately,
That's still not
Or
worse
their
than
Bed Bath and Beyond
no.
sprays.
It's still not worse than that grandma who gets on an elevator and you can still smell her like 30 minutes later.
the mothballs.
Dude, you talking? I was gonna say, you talking the mothballs, or are you talking when they use the Lysol spray when they go to Aunt Susie because they took too much FiberCon?
Oh my God, dude! All that fucking perfume and shit. Oh my God.
Blake, I'm right there with you, man. The Bath and Body Works.
That's not a natural fragrance, Chris.
I can tell you this: my wife will tell you, as a fourth grade teacher, she would much rather smell Axe body spray than fresh fucking
Man,
puberty
I'm
scent.
not touching that one.
That is just
Yeah, but you want to know the other weird part though? Okay, so like gym class these days, they don't even change for gym class. They go to gym in their regular clothes and run around nowadays.
that's crazy.
They don't even change.
No, Zoe had to dress out. But the problem is dude, they didn't give them like lockers, or they didn't allow them to bring
What is that?
You know what it is. You saw it.
They didn't allow them to bring like locks and shit, and God, it was bad.
Chris, the answer is no. Not yet. Not yet.
It's in your
Jay?
box. It's in your box with all your goodies. I had to wait for the boxes to come in. Boxes and the new black packs got here today. So
Oh, nice.
I can load you up because you needed those. So I couldn't
Yeah.
send before that.
I
I didn't realize and didn't think about it. You're gonna laugh at me, guys. I spent 2 hours the other day looking for where the extra shipping boxes were. I was all over the basement, all over the house looking for them, going crazy, couldn't find them. So then I went and looked at how much I shipped and realized I used them all.
Yeah,
That's why there were no more
that happened.
until these got here. But I spent 2 hours looking for them because in my mind I ordered more. But I had to go back and look at the quantity I ordered, and no, I didn't. I used everything I had. So I wasted 2 hours wondering if I was losing my mind, and evidently I did.
Yeah, because I have a group of has the Haitian migration invaded your area? Not that I've seen.
Nope. They're not hunting cats in Bobby's Creek bed yet.
Not yet.
It's
Dude, I'll tell you what, if they're looking for cats, there's a bazillion cats in my neighborhood, but let me tell you, I live in a neighborhood where they look at them as like, so I'll tell you a story, right? My neighbor's cat is the most friendly, beautiful white cat you've ever seen in your life, but it's deaf. So it wants to come over and see you, but it doesn't hear you, so you can't call to it. So
he'll never hear it. He'll never hear the knife coming.
No, he'll never hear it coming. But I will say this. That cat was strolling around one day. It walked in my house, came in and said hi. Went to my neighbor's house, came in and said hi. And everybody knows whose cat it is. Showed up at one of my neighbor's house about 3 houses down. And she went out on the street walking around saying, hey, does anybody know who this cat was? 7 people came out and said, yes, we know where it is, and just take it to their house. And like, I'm telling you what, there's people that are like really particular about are good neighborhood cats because they're not like the spray, pissy, whatever kind. They're literally just out there like getting little critters.
Dude, that's called a skunk. The spray pissy kind.
Well, if you know anything about cats,
Oh, mon chéri! Hey, Pepe Le Pew! How do you?
dude, cats mark their territory pretty
Oh,
often.
they can, but you know,
Yeah.
Well, you know I don't like cats, so I'm not offended by anybody eating cats. Yeah,
hey,
it's
listen,
less
dude.
that I have to deal
I'm
with.
in Ohio. Why would you say I'm not in Ohio? I'm in Ohio. I'm not in an area where someone would randomly walk in and say, "Hey, this is where I think I'd be welcome." As somebody up to no good. If you came in here being like, "Oh, ho ho," yeah, you probably would rather walk into a different.
So masculine. That's so masculine.
It's just a fact.
Oh man,
It is.
So masculine.
that's so funny.
Tater down, what's going on, buddy?
Very protective.
Corn.
There's definitely been you see more. I think you definitely see more immigrants running around, but you don't see anybody just lingering. They're all working or doing something. You see more, but the ones that we see on a regular basis seem to be integrated into working places, but we don't know if they're illegals or not.
Well,
We know that there was some that came in town in a bus. We know that, but we know that they got off the bus and then got on another bus and left. So I think they were just at a drop-off point
right?
and got picked back up.
No. See, they flew them to Rockford
Oh,
and put them on a bus and drove them to Cook County.
Hmm.
They didn't fly them in. They left them on the buses and left them there for 2 days at the airport in a hangar, and then would drive them in. You know, when you heard about all that they wouldn't fly them into O'Hare anymore because they weren't allowed. They were literally flying them to Rockford, putting them in a hangar, and then
They made them
driving. Yeah, left them hanging around in the hangar at the airport for 2 days, which is awful. And then would drive them into Chicago and drop them off at the airport, which is in the bus terminal now. The bus terminal, the inside of the O'Hare bus terminal, is closed to people. You can't go inside. You have to do all your stuff on a kiosk and stand outside waiting for the buses now. There's no inside for it. They have that all closed off.
Weird.
It is weird. It's weird.
It's
no way to live, man. It's no way to live. I mean, they're no matter what you say, it just sucks.
I'm trying to send them there.
I mean, it sucks. It sucks for them. It sucks for residents. It's like, can we figure out a better way? Like, no, we can't. You know why? You know why we can't? You know why it'll never happen? Because we have a bunch of people that are sitting in the Capitol and they can't even balance a fucking budget, man. You know, that's the problem. Those people can't balance a budget. What are they going to do about real issues?
Chris, what are you on whiskey yet?
I am.
What are you drinking?
Elijah Craig.
Oh, that's right. You went to the ECBB. Oh no, you're on the 4.
Not yet. I started lower proof. I got to work my way up to that 136 banger. You don't want to jump right to 136.
And Jack Rose. 419.
Yeah.
Where in the hell's that at?
That's
DC.
in DC.
DC.
Oh, they're going from Buffalo down to DC?
Yeah. Yep, to hang out with the owner of Jack Rose. Good friends with him.
Well, I'm just saying.
He has a metric shit ton of new Willets for them to try.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Amongst by this point of the year, probably
right.
another 200. Another 100 barrel picks to try.
Jesus.
You know,
I
I
mean,
mean, when you're going from Buffalo down, if you just veer a little bit to the west, you come right down through where I'm at. Buffalo's, I think, only like it's like 3.5 hours from my house.
dude, they'd have to go through one of my old stomping grounds to get to you. They'd have to go to Erie, PA first.
Yep, they'd have to go right through Erie.
I could tell you some fantastic stops in Erie, PA. You could get done with them in about an hour.
That's
But
awesome.
they're good to see. They're good to see. One of the probably the best ever club sandwich I've ever had, though.
I used to go up to the little peninsula up there when I worked with GTE because they had a big
Okay.
call center up there in Erie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Catch anything? You could catch some fantastic AA baseball, which is the Pirates organization, but AA just wrapped up. So they're transitioning into hockey season, and they have one of the feeder leagues that typically sees 3 to 5 draft picks a year, and they've had several number 1 overall draft picks that have come off the Erie Otters in Erie, Pennsylvania. So amazing hockey. The ice arena actually is connected to the left field wall in the baseball stadium. It's a pretty cool setup, man. It's a cool setup. One of my favorite places I played by far. Considering at that
That's
time it
cool.
was A ball, it was short season A ball when I was there, and we sold out every night. And it was standing room only, so it would be anywhere from 3,500 fans to 5,000 a night.
Wow.
Like you would be
Wow.
there, and like when the crowd's chanting and going, because it's cool. They've got everything built up around it, so it has a beautiful echo out onto the field. Like the sound just travels through the field, so it feels like you're playing in front of a much larger crowd than you are. But when
That's
you're
awesome.
standing there and you see 5,000 people going wild because there's no outfield seating, they're all right in front of you or to the side of you, dude. It's a lot of energy and it's a great time, man. And they love baseball there. They freaking love baseball.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic D2 university in several sports there. Basketball, women's basketball, soccer, lacrosse, Gannon University. They've won some national championships and been in the Final Fours there several times. So it's a great sports town to say the least.
Yeah.
And they support it like no tomorrow.
Yeah, and we have the same here. We have the same here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great Division II sports school. We have people in the Olympics every year, Summer Olympics.
And Tats, yes, I did. It was one of the coolest things. Okay, I'm long removed from playing, and we always hear in the baseball group about guys who like you'll randomly get in your mail and get your old cards like requesting for them to sign, and they tell you stories and stuff. I actually got a couple of my first cards ever in the mail, probably like 3 weeks ago from a couple guys who sent a couple pictures from when they used to attend the games, from when I played, and they're now trying to collect. They bought all the team sets, they found them all, and now they're trying to send them to everybody that they can that's played so they can have them all autographed now that they're adults, and they're racing each other to see who can complete all the different sets first. It was really cool to get that letter and see the pictures and stuff.
That's cool, man.
It definitely took me back in time. I was unbelievably appreciative to that letter and very excited to get it. Like
And probably just a big
made
surprise.
it was. I didn't expect it. It more than made my week to get that. One of my other guys that's in the baseball group, that's an admin. Somebody hit him up and found 2 of his different cards and sent him like 20 of each the other day. And he was like, anybody else get this? This is really cool. But seriously, how the hell did they find my home address?
I mean, the dark web is real.
Well, mine's not super hard. Like, if you follow along at all or look at my profiles and find my businesses, since I own my own business, my address might be connected to all that shit. I did hide my phone number finally, though, because those were some weird phone calls.
That's funny.
That is no longer on there.
Just an easy little Google search and you can find about anything.
Yes. If you know your way around Google, you can definitely find all that. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, because I used to always have to do stuff with my buddy that I worked with, and every now and then I had to have his address for certain things, and I'd forget it. I'd just Google search and it'd be right there.
Wow.
See, yes, it did take much longer in the dugout, but we were just hanging out. We weren't drinking. We were shooting the shit, telling stories, and we had a great time. Yeah,
Oh,
And yes, your airport lounge phone calls are the best.
man.
I can only imagine what.
Those are legendary.
Oh, dude, I can only imagine what the people think that hear him having those conversations when he calls. Wow, because on my end it was epic. I can only imagine the people around him hearing him.
You're like, what the?
Absolutely epic. So, Bobby, how's that cigar going for you, man?
Well, I'm on the Valor, so good.
You're on the Valor?
Yep.
He smoked the other one with the gunny.
Yeah. I already had the other one. Depending on how long we go, we'll find out again. But so I think the thing that was so unique is that I think it was better than when we tried it.
Oh, dude, if it's better, shit, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think it is. I think this is better. I mean, right off the rip, I went right into some really, really nice dark.
Is it possible?
Leather and pepper.
Is it possible with this one how tad bit more rest?
Well,
I bet.
I would assume it did because I know that I know that they were telling me it was ready before we even sent the band profile, and then we had to have changes to the band made.
Yeah. So
Well, okay. So the notes you gave, I have my notes in front of me from when we first had it. My initial take. So you know what he just said, and I haven't talked to him about it yet. My initial note on the first third: white pepper starter with a nice hay, dry in the barn, corn hammer mill feel, very dry on the palate with a hint of sweet below the tongue. So nice earthiness, just like you said.
Yeah, I think
so it's spot on with what we initially had.
I think a little bit richer, a little bit darker.
Nice.
I get a little bit more like I felt like a really good presence of like leather. Like there was definitely a leather note that came in there, pretty fast with the pepper notes, but just a really nice cigar, but completely different, not even close to being the same.
Nice. Well, that when we talk very drying palate, and if you're getting the leather there, that would be it right there. It's matured more.
Yeah, and that's. And I'll be honest with you, I definitely believe that that's what it is. It's got
nice.
It does taste better.
It's just resting time.
I took just a little. I took just a little bit of notes on that one all the way through, and I really like that one.
Yeah, I have. I'm sure my notes are upstairs where I did it at.
Yeah. It's got way more notes to it than I had when I did the Uncommon Valor because I had the Valor a few times. So I had previous notes to that one. And then the
wants
next
us to
one,
go down to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you all about that. I'll tell you all about that. That's gonna be pretty awesome.
Don't challenge me with a good time.
Yeah. So the guys who have Goodfellas that is across the country, you're actually getting one up in
Yep.
Columbus now.
Well, I've had
Um,
Goodfellas before too.
Yeah, but they're putting one in Columbus. I believe Chris can correct me, but I believe that's going to be their 11th location nationally. So at their main Kentucky one, they are putting in a new bar, special kitchen, and a smoking lounge that they are probably going to be doing lockers and stuff at as well.
Oh, I mean, I'll tell you what. This
So,
I don't know about you guys, but my ballot is kicking ass.
yeah.
It's good.
Well, my Valor is awesome. I'm loving it.
Well, I'm gonna, this one this time is a much ranked improvement over the last one I had, and it is. I think if you want a peated Scotch to go with the Valor, it is hands down freaking Lafroig.
Nice.
Listen,
Do you guys?
it's nice. The Highland Park, if you don't want as much peat, like I get it, it's good. There's something about that heavy peat with that little bit of lemon citrus that goes with this cigar in a way that I think the sherry masks some of the cigar. It's
Okay.
not that it's not bad, but I think you're still getting more cigar profile with the Lafroig compared to the Highland Park. That doesn't mean that the Highland Park's bad. I'm comparing, the two pairings against each other.
Yeah.
I think if you want more cigar, go with the Lafroig. You want your whiskey to take a little bit of a, and we're like 60-40, you know what I mean? Like just take that little bit of the lead. Your whiskey to take the lead a little bit. The Highland Park is fantastic.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Holy shit. Anthony's
Anthony.
Right there. On time. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony, can you tell Chris about how we like our peat, buddy? Because
I'll tell you what, I don't have that much.
He's already had a Chris Tats night.
Probably the peatiest thing I have right now is still that Barbecue. All my Lafroig's gone. I drank it all.
Listen, I had it with the hard bags. Barbecue might be good though. Barbecue would work.
I saw one of those, and you guys had talked about it so much, I almost bought it.
Oh, it's good.
I like it. I thought it was value from a LE that's coming from Ardbeg. You know what I mean? I thought it was presented well. Thought it was a good profile.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna say this, and maybe you guys can chime in on this. I'm not big on the Scotch front, but I've started to notice a lot more of the Ardbeg LEs are around now. They used to show up and go right away.
Well,
I've noticed a lot more of them are sitting on the shelves, and I have an opportunity to go get them, and I don't have to like race and try to find them.
Here's the problem with those LEs.
Okay.
Is to me they've lost some of their value. The whiskey is below price point value. I would rather go with the standard Ardbeg than go buy an LE.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah. That's why I'm
all.
asking you guys. You guys know so much more about that than I do. My knowledge is beyond limited.
And it's not to say that they're bad. It's just to say that they're not offering up the quality in that $130 price point that they used to. You used to at the $130 price point get bangers. Okay, like it was worth it. Like that. There's a reason that they were gone, right? There's also a reason why those are sticking around now.
And see, I'll take that 100%. I've heard some people say that about it, but they're very much so bourbon people and your occasional Scotch drinker. But
Yeah.
they said that, but coming from you guys that drink Scotch way more, I'll take that, and kudos to
I'll
them
tell you
for
what,
saying it, because
and
I didn't know one way or another, but I'd rather hear it from a Scotch guy than a 95% bourbon guy,
I mean, listen, to be fair, like some of those bourbon guys, like what they actually like is they actually like the really peated stuff, because they do like those barbecue notes, and that's the kind of thing that they get. But I will say, in the $130 price point, this Lafroig Elements, dude, it's freaking phenomenal. It's fantastic. But listen, Anthony's right though. That HP Batch 4 is really good. That HP Batch 4 is probably, I think it's up there. I think I like 2 and 4.
Yeah, and I just poured number 1, which I've had 4. I'll tell you what, Highland Park, the Highland Park cask strength with this cigar does such a good job because it makes it leaves this like pixie stick, sugar crusty kind of note on the side of your palate with this cigar. And it plays so well together.
Nice.
I do agree. But if you want something a little more peated,
Oh yeah.
but also what I've kind of noticed is that the Lafroig allows the cigar to take a little bit more of the lead, and I think it's 60-40 on the Highland Park, because I think the sherry in that Highland Park washes over a little bit of the natural sweetness in the cigar.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I'm looking and I don't see a Lafroig in it. I know they're wrong.
All good.
No, it's not. That's bad.
Well, I mean,
I would rather there be more cash strength Lafroig here.
even those have gone like straight ex-bourbon releases right now. Lil had her first cigar in Seattle. 2 bottles of
That is
Staggered.
amazing.
Wow.
Is she now a cigar fan? Yes.
Yeah, the question is, was it a positive experience?
That's right. Because I can remember when we had that experience with Trev, it started out positive, and then we told him to stop, and he didn't, and it turned negative.
That's because you gave him the Padron 26, dude.
I know. I had him start on something, and he decided
You did,
to keep going.
but he wanted to play with the boys.
He wanted to play with the boys.
You can't blame him.
Well,
you can't blame him. He rocked that first stick like a goddamn champ.
He loved it, and he had the stick he should have had. But then he wanted to, well, no, I'm good. I want to keep going. I'm like, okay. I wasn't going to say no to him because I was like, he was army puking the hell out of me all night.
He was.
And I was just like, okay. Army fucking puking.
You're right, Anthony. The Elements is a fantastic release by Lafroig. I am enamored with how good it was. I was a little taken away at the price point just because you've been burned. Honestly, I've been burned so many times with I got burned with the Lafroig, not the Lafroig, the Lagavulin cash strength from a couple of years ago, and it was okay, and it was like $175, and then a couple of the Ardbegs just weren't up to par, and I'm like, God bless, do I really want to go spend another $130? I was like, well, but
Yes, you do.
I was like, but this could be a really good new series, you know, from
That's a
Lefroy.
pretty nice looking hat you got there.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I know.
I like the camo.
It's new era too, Zach. It's new era.
Dude,
950s.
it fits good too, man. That fits good.
The stitching on these I'm gonna say I was a little bummed out on. I got somebody else rocking out the stitching yet again. I went with my expensive guy just to get it done and get it done right. This company usually does a great job because they do stuff for tens of thousands of different companies. Unfortunately, they didn't nail this. They didn't nail it. It looks nice on camera. It looks nice on camera, but up close, it's got some flaws that
Up close it does.
yeah. I want it's a new era hat, man. You give me a new era. You know there's cost in it. I want it. I want it to be correct. So,
I
where's your map of Taffy, Chris? It's downstairs, buddy. It's downstairs. I will have it on next week's stream just for you. You can tell everybody where the spot is, and I will hold up my glass, and everyone will be able to find the spot. Did you guys' volume just go weird?
No,
Oh, mine did for a hot second.
I don't know. I just think everybody got quiet
I
for
had to
some.
mute for a second.
Oh, that might have been what it was.
Maybe you know what? I've got the big fan. I got the big fan over here. You probably hear a little bit of buzz from the big fan.
I don't hear it at all.
I remember before coming in, it was picking up like a tad bit of it. But you know what? It keeps the freaking mosquitoes off me, and I have to freaking light a bunch of freaking torches. So
Right.
Yeah. We didn't have rain for a couple weeks, and the last 3 days it's rained. So it's bug heaven outside right now. Where I'd be outside. The weather is perfect, dude. We're in total fall weather. It feels great out there. But I went out there earlier today, dude. It's flies and mosquitoes everywhere. I'm
We're
like,
super heavy humid right
are you?
now.
We're not humid. It's glorious weather right now.
So
well, we're looking at the after effects of what is it Helene?
yeah, the
That's
last
about to hit. That's about to hit Florida.
Yeah, it's
So-
about to
so-
hit Florida, but some of the storms are already up in South Carolina. My guys
but
by
listen.
Clemson are getting blasted.
But listen. They said Ike was one of the biggest storms ever, and it was 230 miles across. This one's 330 miles across.
yeah. I
No
saw that-
Gouda.
I saw that it was big. It just wasn't as strong, right?
No.
Yeah.
This one has the ability.
To
It
get
was
there still?
dropping. It was dropping pressure, and it had the ability to hit landfall at a 4.
Oh, really? Last time
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it recently, but I know originally
I
they
was
were
watching it.
2-3.
Yeah, I was watching it. Tonight, and they were like, "Yeah, pressure's dropping. This could be a really." They're saying storm surge could be 20 feet.
Ooh.
Which
Is
is
it still
storm
coming
surge.
in just north of
Storm surge.
Tampa? Is it still coming in just north of Tampa?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
But storm
it's
surge is
over in there.
20 feet. That is covering houses in some
Yeah.
areas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be yucky.
That'll be no Gouda and Siesta Key. Fort Myers, Siesta Key, all the way up the coastline there. That'll be no good.
Yeah.
Well, I
What do
mean,
you
they're
guys?
expecting to hit all like as it hits, like it'll already be hitting, like be affecting like all the way up to Atlanta.
Well, like they're already getting the storms, like I said, over by Clemson, South Carolina, and they're
Mhm.
saying they're going to get hit hard Friday morning.
They're on the dirty side.
They're on the bad side of it, and like they were already getting stormed with a little bit of hail and stuff today. My guy was posted outside of his shop off his security cameras. The rain coming down. I'm like,
Zach, Chris
that's
said
not
that's
good.
a baby storm for them.
He's used to those typhoons
Yeah, but here's the deal: the when you look at
and his storms go backwards.
when you look at the compaction and the number of people that this would affect,
Right.
it's a lot more, man. These things have the ability to just be horrible.
Night, Anthony.
Later, Anthony. Whoa.
Yeah, I remember the last time that area got hit. Remember when it sucked the ocean back out? Like, what was it? Like 500 feet out? You could walk out
Yes.
from the beach, and it ripped the tide all the way back because it had dumped so much water inland.
Yeah.
Well, when that one hit, we went
boom.
to the Florida Keys
It was
in
almost
Marathon
tsunami-like.
afterwards, and they said the storm surge came all the way up in the house, and everything in the house got taken out to sea. Everything got taken out of the house. It was just a shell. But have you guys been watching these houses in the Carolinas getting ripped out?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
I've been watching that like crazy because I lived in North Carolina for 4 years.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Bridget and I were looking at that. We're like, we knew exactly where those houses were, and they were always up on stilts and all that stuff
Yeah,
for a reason, but
yeah.
where they used to be versus where they are now, it's changed.
Oh, absolutely.
They were never, literally, they were inland. Now you're seeing them not inland. They were inland.
That's what's scary, right? These changing weather patterns is.
Well, you're looking at tidal shift. You're looking at normal stuff, right? What places that didn't have water have, and places that did don't. You're seeing like just huge tidal shifts.
Well, part of that too is we're finally seeing the pole shift like they were supposed to do long ago, and we're seeing it start to happen. At an accelerated rate. I mean, you don't think a couple degrees is a lot, but a couple degrees is a lot when we're talking a pole shift because they take 15,000 years usually, 10 to 15,000 years, and it didn't happen on time. It didn't happen at all. And now in the last couple of years, I think what have we seen? Almost 8 degrees of a shift. That's going to change a lot of
Yeah,
stuff.
but like 3 degrees of increase in water temperature is insane. Like the amount of additional power that it gives those storms is just nuts. But like Chris, like that's crazy because y'all are talking about those salties, man. Like those things, like saltwater crocodiles and Nile crocodiles are probably the two worst of any of the crocodile species that you could have to be, associated with. Neither one of them are scared of humans in any freaking way. They all know.
I was gonna say, you want to talk about who's eating your cats and dogs?
Hey, well, you know what? They've actually listen. The increase in the number of bull sharks that they're finding north of, like severely north, like full on fresh water. Like in Australia they have uh, uh, all those golf courses that the sharks get stuck in, right? And now they just have golf courses where, hey, we have to warn you, don't go get your ball. It's not because of the crocodile, it's because of the shark. Like that's just nuts. Melmac, Ohio. Yeah, Melmac. Yeah, I got some of those. I mean, that's totally different subject.
I knew you'd appreciate that,
But
buddy.
you have that whole thing with the bull sharks that used to be really, really adaptive slowly, but surely from brackish
but it
into
used
full
to
fresh
only,
water.
but it only used to be the really, really small ones. Okay, which is why it never affected anybody.
Well, I mean, there had been some
were,
bigger ones that make it up in the brackish area, but now they've actually went into full fresh, and they're finding them way. I mean, they found bull sharks all the way up into the Ohio River.
I know. Bull sharks can and have an enzyme in them that allow them to,
switch over,
decrease the carbon dioxide in their bloodstream, I think is what it is.
Yep.
And they're able to compensate for that. But I think what was happening historically is they didn't need to go that far, so they weren't. So all the babies were staying, mildly brackish. I'm sure that you would, have them up through the Everglades. You would have them up through swamps of Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? But they were never large enough. Now they're catching 5, 6, 7 foot freaking bull sharks.
Come on. We've got bigger sharks eating 10 to 14 foot sharks. Great whites getting eaten, chomped in half, showing up on the shores on the Carolinas. Well, they just had that one of the females they tracked forever.
Well,
and
they're thinking that that's the orcas.
No. This is in North Carolina where this happened. It's not orcas that are doing that. It was another shark that took out this one and ate the tag and everything on it, and just left part of the carcass. The depths and stuff, they were tracking it, and the way it dove and went so far low, they know it's a larger great white. They came and ate a 14-foot female great white that was pregnant.
Yeah, jeez. I mean,
we got the sharks we got the great whites eating the great whites now. Watch out, kids.
Dude, all I know is if they turn into tornadoes, listen, dude.
Sharknadoes.
Where's Finn Shepherd? That's all I gotta say. Where's Finn Shepherd?
Dude, all I know is I watched that video about that shark, and my kids came in. And they've been really big about those Megalodon movies, the Meg and the Meg 2. Winston. That's it, Dad. That's it. You said the ocean was cool. I'm done with it. The Megs are back. They're eating the great whites now. That ain't no great white eating a great white. The Megs are back, Dad. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. Leave it to my boys.
Who's to say that there aren't just a couple of freaking, like, really, really, really large ones out there? And those guys are going to be opportunistic, right? They're going to get what they can get. Not every day, sure, they're 800-pound tuna drive.
Okay, but the scary part was it hit that thing only a few miles offshore, and then went back out and went deep. It came in and got it towards shore, which is what's really rare.
Well, which means it's not very interested in a human.
Which means that it's been there before.
Right.
You'd have to think that it isn't going to be very interested in us, because if it's eating that, we wouldn't even be a fucking appetizer.
No.
It was like, oh, yeah, no. I need something bigger than that. That's so disinterested.
No.
I mean, listen, there are, like, historical record. There are record of some of those sharks being, massive. And the problem is, they didn't have fucking camera phones. You had fishermen telling tall tales. You know what I mean? Who knows? There's got to be some semblance of truth in a lot of these stories. And who's to say that, man? You know what? There's a couple, and there are a couple of fishermen out in Australia that have talked about seeing sharks bigger than their boat.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't even know how we got on. Like,
I don't either, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
I do like watch. I'm a diehard shark leader.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. All right. So I have to ask.
So we're just like the like when you get the fish and chips, right? We're the chips.
What about all the Americans that went to the Olympics that were smuggling back Buffalo Trace and French butter? That's all I want to know. All I want to know is there's all these new videos of how to smuggle back French butter because of the Olympics on YouTube, and it's like a huge thing. And I'm like, smuggling back
Smuggle
butter?
it. Just fucking bring it back. Smuggle it.
Just go find the go.
I mean, granted, anytime you bring produce back, they're always kind of picky, but they're looking for vegetables and all that kind of shit. They're not looking for fucking butter.
They're looking for live stuff, right? They're
looking for
produce,
bugs and
produce,
produce, and infected meats and stuff like that.
Dude, French butter is probably great, but I'm not bringing it back in my suitcase. Sorry, not it.
I mean, listen. I mean, you gotta have something to cook that foie gras in, right?
It does. It does. It makes up for them being 700s instead of 750s.
That's right. Get some Buffalo Trace and slab of French butter.
I mean, I'm getting ripped off 50 milliliters of bottles, so I got to make up for it somewhere.
Yeah, man. It's only a matter of time that everybody goes to 700 mils.
That's right. Well, dude, it's happening in every LE. And if you get with some people, there have been some people talking about and actually measuring some of these 700 milliliter releases now and dumping them and finding out they're anywhere between like 620 to 680.
Really?
You're not even getting 700 mils in your 700 mil bottle. Oh, hey man! Blake, I told you last night if I would have had the chance, I would have gone to the Squatch Festival in Nashville, Indiana. And if you know Nashville, Indiana, the Squatch Festival is taking place across the street from Hard Truth Distillery this weekend, like right across the street at the hotel. So you could have went to Hard Truth, had some great whiskeys, done a killer tour there, picked up some good distillery only bottles, and went to Squatch Fest for 2 days.
Come on,
dude.
Listen.
I would have went just to go one time. That's one of those things I would have went one time because I think the people watching would be amazing.
Listen, all I know is tomorrow morning I'm watching my recorded freaking Expedition Bigfoot. Okay, there's only two left of this season, right?
Well, dude, I'm stuck waiting for it to actually show up on my service. I have to wait until the whole season's done, and then they populate.
They have a new set of Expedition.
Yeah, it's season 5.
You haven't seen it? Yeah.
No. I've seen the trailer for it, but I haven't seen it. So here's the other thing. Zach.
On Discovery?
I don't want to tell you. I'm not.
Squatch Fest in Brown County, they're sold out this year, first time.
It's gonna listen, dude. It's gonna listen. I don't know. Listen, there have been a couple of thermal images that either they caught a Sasquatch or they're doing a really good job of faking this whole fucking thing, and I don't believe that they're faking this whole fucking thing.
Is it on Discovery? What channel is it on?
Yeah, I think it's Discovery, right?
Well, I know that
because that's part of my Prime package and my Max package and all that shit.
I know the first 4 seasons were on.
Listen.
But I don't know where it's at now. I've been looking for it.
Resemble a primate. Listen. You're not fucking wrong.
That jaw structure, baby. Wrong. That jaw structure.
She.
No, Zach. What are you watching it on? What channel? Is it on Travel, Discovery, Nat Geo? What is it?
I want to say that it's the History Channel.
It's on History?
It's on one of those. It's either on.
I've been looking for it and haven't found it.
It's either on AE, Discovery, or History. One of the 3.
Yeah.
All those are part of my Max package. So
I got them
as soon as it plays through, Blake said Travel Channel. As soon as
So-
it plays through, I get to watch it, and I'm excited.
Listen.
Blake got me watching all the last ones. Us three have all talked about them.
All I have to say is, listen. Last season there was some weird shit that happened last season. Okay.
Dude, last season they found
So-
the double
so-
footprints and the hand at the.
Listen, they found even more footprints. They found footprints that were, to me, actually more believable. And the thing is there were multiple. What started off their investigation is they got trail cam footage. Oh God, I can't believe that. They got trail cam footage of basically two figures walking through the forest, like, it was clearly upright in its two, and it wasn't a bear, like, and you're like, oh, okay, so they're back in Northern California. Okay, this was back to season 3. Northern California, they actually were really on the hunt for a couple of things. And then they walked up against that national forest. There was a fence that was like it was government property, and you couldn't go onto it,
Right.
And this thing went past the fence, and they were like, "Well, shit." Well, they're back in a similar spot, and they've had a couple of experiences, and some compelling thermal images that I'm like, that's either they're 100% it's a hoax, or they fucking caught something. It's one or the other. And awesome.
Talk at you tomorrow, Tatsy.
Have a good one, Chris.
Cheers.
And I just don't believe that these are the type of people to go out and just like hoax something.
Yeah.
For otherwise they'd just be the laughing fucking stock, right? So if they're not faking it,
they do have scientific credentials and have written books, so it would really ruin any credibility they had.
Russell caught this thing walking across one of the peaks of a mountain.
Yeah.
And it clearly fucking stands up.
Yep.
He's watching. He's sitting there underneath this tree, like literally being stalked by a bear. Like he had to get up a couple of times because there was this bear in the area. But he's sitting there and he's like, holy shit. And all of a sudden, this thing fucking stands up and goes bipedally, and you can see it. And he's like, shit. He goes running off for it and goes to the same area. And what does he find? He finds a big old freaking footprint, dude. And the cool thing is they found footprints not in one spot, but in another spot. And the measurements on both castings are within a margin of error that it could actually be the same footprint. Like from the same animal. I mean, there's been some crazy shit. And
so it's funny because like there's been some crazy videos out there lately.
Yes,
did you see the video where they were
considered paranormal activity?
Well, they had this video where they thought they haven't been able to identify exactly what it was, but I can tell you now that whatever that was that those guys got hiking was not you or me, because the things it was picking up and throwing wasn't shit that you're picking up and throwing. Did you see that, Zach? I think you did.
Well,
right?
here's also the difference. They were following kind of a trail, like they were kind of, and they continued to come across basically the tree structures where they're leaning up against, but these were very small, but they were very placed up against the base of trees. No more than like 4 or 5 feet off the ground, right? And And they didn't find one. They found 3 in an area. And, you know, they say, right, you know, around the country, they say that these are indications of them being in the area, that they make these as like, hey, listen, this is our area. It's almost like them pointing the area, like, keep going to find us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll still say one of the weirdest things of was it last season when Russell was in the mine
Oh yeah.
and he sent the freaking LiDAR dog robot in. And
What'd you grab now?
And that fucking thing, listen. Russell knew something was in there.
Oh, the
right?
barbecue coming out.
Russell knew something was in there, but he couldn't see anything. That LiDAR robot caught what looked like something cowering in like a hunched position with his back to, you know, up against the wall, and you're like, but nothing's there in the video. But the lasers picked up an anomaly.
Cloaking,
And
baby, cloaking.
there are a lot of people
According
out there.
to the Indian mythology, cloaking.
There is a lot of people out there if that
Now
say
everybody
that
knows what nerds we are.
they have that ability of basically, like, you know, they equate it to, like, you know, the Predator movies, right? But here's what I think. I don't think it's technology. I think they're able to basically phase in and out of dimension, and it's them phasing in and out that vibration that makes it look like that allows light to go through that area.
Paintballs, baby, paintballs. Paintballs. Let's get the paintballs out.
But lasers would pick that shit up, especially those LiDAR lasers. You know what I mean? And it's not the first time that they've used those LiDAR and caught something on those LiDARs. So,
well, either way, you know, I think it's a combination of it's interesting, it's exciting, and it's also entertaining. You know, it's
absolutely.
It hits on all levels.
You know, because you could say the same thing, like we were talking sharks earlier, and they were doing that deep water drill, and they had what they estimated to be a 32-foot shark. And they went through and did like this and reading, and they showed this would be this, and it was like 32 foot. And you're like, how do you not say that there's the possibility? I mean, you're talking about the oceans.
But you're also talking about a specific kind of shark, which is that like Greenland shark, the one that's like super slow moving.
The 500-year-old slowpoke.
They'll live almost forever. So the possibility, you say that if you have a 300-400-year-old shark that's still living, you know, at that time, are you saying, okay, is it reasonable to expect it to get to the, you know, a certain point, it starts to grow a little bit slower? I don't know, man.
I don't know. I just think, you know, there has to be, you know, the thought of like, we know that we haven't found everything. We haven't explored everything. And, you know, you're always finding, even if it's just like the newest little toad or the newest little frog. Well, I mean, there's so much shit that's unexplored. You don't know what's out there.
Bro, my wife can't find her keys every morning.
Exactly. I always think it's interesting. I was like, you know, I'm game. I think it's interesting to watch. It's damn sure entertaining.
Listen, man. I just think there's too many sightings out there for it to only be bears. I think there's too many sightings out there for it to just be hoaxes. There's too many credible people out there that have risked reputations to kind of go and say, I'm doing this at a detriment to myself, to say that I found this or that I have this footage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those are the people, the ones that are reluctant to talk about it or reluctant to release footage. Those are kind of the ones that, they're kind of like, I don't know what I found. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm just saying I got something really weird, and I don't want to take the ridicule for being that person. That to me gives a little bit more credence to like what they actually experience. It's like Bobby, you talk about the sheriff's officer that caught it on his dash cam running across the freaking
Oh yeah.
and in 2 steps made it across a 4-lane highway. You know what I mean?
Well, the sheriff guy that did it in Ashland County, it was actually he was driving northbound on 250 US 250 and saw it running through a field and literally turned his car across both lanes for his dash cam to pick it up running through the field. And that was a sheriff in the county that was just like, dude, I have this on my dash cam.
It was Victor Wembanyama.
It could have been.
I
Could have
just,
been.
But,
But, I think that there's like I would say this, Zach, that I agree with you in the idea that yes, there's definitely some mistaken identities for sure. But man, when you start getting, it used to be like you get like someone say they saw something, you go interview them and they kind of look like the person that wants that attention. But when you have a park ranger, which has started to happen more and more, park rangers are coming across it, sheriff are coming across it. That's a different, that's a different story.
Hunters who've been hunting for 30, 40 years, and they're like, listen, I've never encountered something like that. You know what I'm saying? And when those guys talk about like, listen, I've been out in the wherever by myself for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden, the hair on the back of their neck stands up. Oh, Blake, I love talking about this shit. I love
that's how you know Blake hasn't been on our Instagram with us, because we've talked about this a lot in the past.
Hey man, once you bring it to YouTube, it's real.
Yeah, but but I think it's entertaining, right? Like, listen, we still talk smoking and drinking and having a great time, but this is entertaining. It's fun to talk about, and there's
all day.
He's like, oh,
it's fun. It's fun to hear everybody's like, oh, just dismissal, and I'm like, well, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but
I have a hard time just dismissing everybody, and there's some real credible folks out there, and they're not like, that they're not trying to make anything up. There's nothing for them to gain at this point.
Right.
Until it's proof, that's when once it's proven, holy shit, that's when I had an experience. I'll give you money to talk about your experience. You know what I mean?
There's definitely nothing to gain for a forest ranger, park rangers, and police, because those guys are going to lose their jobs.
Right. Hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to go inside and grab another cigar. Should I grab any certain bottle that we're going to drink while I run downstairs?
I have some. I think I still have some Floorgates in. I don't know. What do you have, Zach?
I'm just saying, because you guys always bring stuff up, and I'm actually going to run in and get a cigar, so I have a chance to grab something from downstairs. Any of the 6 of you in the peanut gallery can make a comment too.
Honestly, I'm not.
They're listening to us talk squatches. They're listening to us talk sharks. We're going to talk more cigars and bourbon and scotch here in a minute.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be firing up the ton pretty soon. I want to do it with
I'm so jealous.
I want to do it with the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye.
Ooh.
Because this,
white label. Hey, Top Shelf Dustin, the only Beam white label I have is a 1 liter from 1979.
Just like my mom.
Easy there, pony boy.
I'm not pony boy.
You have a ponytail right now. Shut up.
I'm not from the fucking Outsiders, dude.
I didn't say you were. You went there on your own. You got a ponytail right now. You went to the Outsiders on your own.
I was going to say Soda Pop, but...
Oh.
You know,
You want me to start calling you Man Bun?
I'm not. I'm not.
Momoa,
shit.
Momoa's grandpa?
What's his nuts? No, what's the super liberal dude? Would always do the show on like Tuesdays.
I don't know.
Don't
Oh,
know much that shit.
Daniel's buddy. Fucking. He always had the man. He always put it up here. Mine is not a man bun. Mine's just a fucking ponytail. It's just in the back, dude. Super liberal Trump runs. I love it, Dustin.
Just go grab something, Chris. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Go,
All right. I'll be back.
No, I just for
No,
people
you know
like
that
me.
the video I was talking about. I thought you might have seen it. It wasn't involved with Bigfoot, or it wasn't in like expedition. It was some hikers that were coming up from a riverbed, and they heard some noise, and they were kind of down, and they were looking up, and they saw this big object making a lot of noise, and then all of a sudden you can kind of make out something. It picked up a fucking decent sized little tree and threw it
And threw it at him.
pulling other shit out and doing all this stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm saying right now that
There's
there's some big strong guys out there, and I'm not tall, but I'm a strong dude. And I'm saying right now, you weren't picking that up out as big as it is and moving it that easy.
It's primate level strong.
Yeah.
It's primate level strong.
Because like
great,
I used to always
it's
like
great ape level.
Because we used to always sit there and say like, the kids would always ask me growing up, like, what is the one thing that like if you ran into
screw you, Joe.
If you ran into the woods and you or was somewhere and you ran into a wild animal, what was the one thing you'd never want to see? And I said, fucking gorilla. A gorilla or an orangutan.
The orangutans are going to be slower. It's the gorilla.
But the orangutans.
But you know what? You can stop, and a gorilla will see you as no threat.
An orangutan
and will leave you alone. So will the orangutans. Fucking chimpanzees, them motherfuckers will come up and tear you apart.
Well, orangutan, to show dominance and take over an area, will dismember by hand. Like, listen, if you're talking about a critter,
so
critter can walk up,
and they'll do it as a.
I'm just saying,
to their own kind.
If you're strong enough to come up, like I used to tell the kids, if you're strong enough to come up and rip my arm off and beat me to death with it, that's not what I want to do. I'm not okay with it. Give me a bear with a nice swipe of the I'm dead. Give me a shark.
No, except for polar bears. Except for polar bears, because
polar bears,
they won't care. They will just disembowel you and eat you every single part of you
alive and be happy.
Yeah,
with
they are
meal. They're cold.
They're not.
But dude, I always thought, man, I can't even imagine walking up on a territorial silverback gorilla, man. I'd just be like, oh no.
But it happens though, and you know what happens? People sit down, they turn their backs away, and they'll charge them. You just have to stay still. As long as you stay still, usually they'll run at you and they may run past you, but you just stay still and you don't look at them. They will leave you alone because it is just they're trying to make sure that you're not a threat.
Yeah.
Chimps, on the other hand, them little bastards don't care. They are the most evil things on this planet, dude.
All I know is you sit there and those dudes just kind of hang in the trees by their fingertips forever, and like that's why you always hear that term monkey strong. Monkeys are strong as hell. You're just like nope.
It's just nuts, man. I mean, it's scary. It's scary. Truthfully, it's scary.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
So if we're thinking that there's a, let's say 8-9 foot freaking bipedal freaking great ape that we don't know about because it's smart enough to not be found, right? That it shows a lot of intelligence. That's even scarier, truthfully. Who knows, man? Who knows?
I know is that
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that go missing in Yosemite. Hikers that are by themselves and they just go missing and they're never found. There's nothing.
Yeah, but there's a lot of shit in Yosemite that could do that.
Agreed. But nothing that knows how to leave no trace. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have intelligence enough to hide its. Like,
But you also got to wonder if half of those are idiots to think, oh, hey, listen, that's a really nice hot water spring to go take a bath in, and they just fucking melt. I'm just saying.
Well,
some dumbasses
there's those people too. Yeah,
have been like, oh, look, it's a hot water spring.
Like they can't smell the sulfur. You know what I'm saying?
You're just
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I think.
I can tell you one thing for sure. This Valor, it's hard to put it out even when it's down and up because it tastes good all the way all the way. I'm always like, even though I want to go to something else, I don't.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. Yeah. Let's go all the way.
Pack.
Good thing we don't sing.
We'd have more members. Everybody would come from my serenading skills.
Drunk people will be drunk. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, I picked two bangers, man.
All right.
Still got one of these.
Oh, nice. You don't like it.
Who don't like it?
No. I was reacting to Dustin's comment. I'm like, I think that these things know what cameras are.
Oh.
I don't know how. I think it's the lenses. They're able to see refraction on the lenses, and so they know what they are.
Well, think of this: if you were able to exist undetected for so long in your environment, you don't think you're going to notice that there's something that's there that's not supposed to be there?
But I think that they've learned. I think that they're smart enough to learn, and I think
look at that wax fly.
I think they're smart enough to learn to stay away from those things, and that's why you find so many trail cameras. Chris,
yes, I will show him. I will show him Dr. Myra's dolphins photo after the nice pop.
What? It's for real?
Yeah, dude, for real. Oh, this
dude.
smells so good. Holy shit. Okay, phone photo. Oh, well, dude, I'm just going to a rye. You had a rye earlier. You had the Dustin Dan. I almost grabbed that, but I was grabbing this 14th anniversary. So.
Oh, room 101?
Yeah.
What?
There she is. There she is in her dolphin glory.
How did those high cheekbones make it to be a fucking? Oh, she was good at all the flips because chimps are good at flips. Gotcha.
Oh my god. Oh my god. If we had any female viewers, you just lost them. So anyway, I don't know what group picked this. It doesn't exist. But this is an MGP. It says 10-year on it. Here's the crazy. Traverse City actually bottled this at 10 years, 364 days because of the taxes.
Makes sense.
For the group, they bottled it then because otherwise the tax cycle would have come through and the price would have shot up. The price would have shot up on the bottle, so it's a 10-year, not an 11-year. Which, whatever.
That's
dude.
Awesome.
This is one of the tastiest, stupid MGP 11-year ryes I've had in a very, very long ass time. It takes you back to some of the LDI flavors. So I'll make sure to send you guys the sample because I have a backup bottle. I've had it this whole time. I've probably had this thing 6 months, 7 months, and I haven't opened it yet. It might be longer. I think I actually got it at the end of last year. I think. Should have done a Kevin Garnett 612. Yeah, Garnett, Kevin Durant, Dirk Nowitzki did it. Dirk Nowitzki did it forever, saying he was 6'11" and a half. And then finally he was like, yeah, I'm 7 foot. At that point, it didn't matter in his career because he was a badass. But like Kevin Durant standing there at 6'10", and he's taller than the guys listed at 7 foot on the Olympic roster. Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, dude, Zach, yeah.
Oh, it's a good one, man.
It is, dude.
It's
Like
not-
this
it's not
is
my- it's-
throwback spicy tobacco.
So I I'm gonna tell you this. That's one I really, if you've been holding on to that was
I
released
have.
a little while ago. So
I have. I have
think-
one more left, and one of my stores has like 8 left.
I think that those are getting better.
Dude, they did not have that spicy old tobacco smell when I first got them. Like they were
They're-
really good. Like I had the first one. I'm like, oh, and that it was the week they came out, and
It's
I'm like,
okay.
oh wow. And now
Yeah.
this is a totally different smell. Totally,
I had that one really early on, and I was like, oh
yeah.
I was like, you know what? Those are gonna get better. Those are gonna
Yeah.
get better as they go along. So
I
the longer
liked it.
you let-
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. I liked it when I first had it. I had another one a month later when it was changing. Oh, it was not good at that point. It got to a funky point. It got to a funky
Okay.
point where you could tell it was still fermenting,
Oh yeah.
and it hadn't gassed completely off in the ferment. So it started out great, and then it got weird. Ooh, that's a great bottle. I don't know who picked that one.
Some schlep rock, but it's okay.
Yeah, some schlep rock that has
Man.
picked some bangers at that place.
I'm just gonna say that this Lafroy is really fucking good. It drinks under proof, man. I mean, it's almost 59%, but it drinks 56. All right, I got.
He's on the Elements 1.0, correct? Dust Nast.
Yeah.
Elements L 1.0. Oh, and the ton is in the house. I'm so jelly, dude. I'm so jelly the ton's out.
You know what?
I can tell you this. I am so excited. I'm excited for oh, to have it right. I've had it, but I'm excited for Zach because this is Zach. I'm playing right now. This is even. I am absolutely convinced this is better than it was.
And it's only going to get better as it airs out a little more.
You know what, Dustin? I get
just
I
like
get
this damn whiskey, my dear Lord.
I get the price point on it, but you know what? When I look at the ABV and I look at the price point, and I look back at all of the Ardbegs that came out at the same price point, and they were nowhere near as good as this. At least this provided. I didn't feel like I got robbed. There were some of those Ardbegs that, man, I felt like I got robbed. And they were average. They were below par. I would have rather have just had an Ugadal. You know what I'm saying? To me, this is an elevated Ugadal. There's plenty of sherry. Oh, listen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about the Supernova.
We just had a conversation earlier where I was asking why Ardbegs are sitting on the shelf now. That was before you got in here, but I wanted to hear from Scotch guys on that.
You want to know a note that I just pulled off of this? And this is just starting. I'm just on a. I just got a really nice.
I'll be right back.
I just got a really nice brine, like really. Really
dude,
good.
that's in my notes. It's in my notes.
I got a really good brine note. Like I had like the outer crust of a prime rib.
Dude, this 14th anniversary. I got a note that I didn't get the first time I smoked it at all. Um, I got the caramels and things like that. This has turned into the almond pastry, like a nice French almond pastry, where you get that like little bit of sweet, but with that hard like almond, like the marzipan note.
Like I'm telling you right now, I can smell just as it's cooking. I'm like, God, that smells like a crusted prime rib. It's so meaty. I feel like I could eat prime rib with this, with a really nice fucking estate cab.
You know, that's supposed to be our next release, buddy. Did they confuse them? I know they didn't because you
It's
told me
not.
you told me the notes, so I know. Wow. This one compares to something we have downrange. See that? See that? I've been learning my terminology. It's something we have
Downrange.
downrange, buddy. Um, in our portfolio lined up with that really beautiful almond pastry note. That just makes me more excited for what we have downrange right now because holy cow, so good.
So
And
that's what.
mixing it with this older MGP rye that brings back the old flavors. And I mean, dude, look at the darkness on that. That's
Yeah. Hey,
man, it's
Dustin,
almost 11 year, but that's dark, dude.
Zach was drinking Elements earlier. Yeah, Zach is a big Elements fan. I'll tell you, at first, I will say this, Chris. At first, the band, I mean, aesthetically wonderful to look at. I love the band.
I was hoping so, buddy.
At first, I was kind of like, you have to kind of slide the band down a little bit because the Eagles wings aren't together.
Yeah.
But I kind of think it's kind of kick ass because I can put.
I saw how you flared it out, and I was like, dude, that's badass.
I can flare the wings
while you're smoking it
of the eagle.
That was kind of a thought that was in there.
I'll tell you what,
and you're doing it, which makes it more awesome. But dude, that was honestly a thought when I was designing it that like you could do something like that. I didn't know if anybody would do it besides myself being me being artistic and dorky.
I'm super nerdy. Like, flaring the wings while you smoke it, it's fucking.
Well, yeah. Awesome. To me, it was like, is there a more signature moment of doing that? And then people going, what is that? Because that's a talking point. That's a talking point all day. People are going to be like, oh, what's that?
As I smoke it in my head, it's like, like I'm like,
yeah. No, that was honestly a thought point in it that somebody might do that or people might do that. And it would be a talking point at a lounge or at a herf.
Smoke it with the wings flared.
Yeah, because people are going to be like, what is that? And they're going to be like, oh, damn, eagle wings. And they're like, oh, what's a cigar? Tell me more about that. What is that? That's cool. That's different. I've never had a label that did that. So I'm trying to do weird, different shit. Trust me. I want to push the boundaries. I want to do things people haven't done because I want everything to be a story. I want there to be talking points. Like this cigar itself has a lot of talking points with the ton in 1775. So
Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, 131.6 proof, and looking for a cigar to pair it with. Any suggestion? Yeah.
Yeah, lots actually. Yeah. I throw that with a Padron 1926 all day right now.
What do you have? That's the bigger question.
Well, I can tell you, I've had that with the Valor because it put off such really, really nice notes that went along with it. I had it with the Valor.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
But I can tell you now, there's been plenty of things I've had with single barrel proof.
Yeah.
I'm usually
pull that.
Dude, I just had that the other day. That's great.
Adventura, the Navigator.
Yeah,
dude.
But I went deep.
I had like 3 or 4 of those. Oh, you got a Tennessee Taster. Nice.
Dude, why didn't you say that? I could have grabbed that off the shelf. I drank the other night. The other night they woke me up while I was working on the label you saw that I'm doing for the distillery, Zach.
Oh yeah. That one's badass, dude.
I was supposed to talk to them today, and they didn't reply to me. So hopefully
Did
we
I
talk
not see
tomorrow.
that label?
You have not. Do you want to see it? I'll send it to you real quick.
Yeah, send it to me.
So mind you, this is my rough sketch because we all know things get changed, and my rough sketches are not rough sketches. If you've ever
Dustin,
seen them.
you've never had a taste.
Oh, dude,
They're so
Listen,
fucking good.
this was that barrel proof rye
Yep.
that was released right after that inaugural green label was released, and everybody went ape shit for and was paying $500-$600 for. They slyly released this right behind it, and I thought this was fucking better. This was like $40.
Oh, dude, it's older. It's older, and that's why the new Coy Hill that came out last week, and they did the release today for Jack's birthday. Those Coy Hills are 10 to 11 years old, not 5 to 6 like the OGs with the super high proof. But now we're talking 128 to like 134, I believe. And those are 10 to 11 years old from the Coy Hill Rickhouse. And
63.9.
And those tasters are older than the first special release. So,
dude,
Bobby, did you get a look at that? So yeah, I hope they call back. I hope they call back tomorrow. We were supposed to have a meeting today. And I texted him as soon as I had time to do that, hoping I was going to do that before we did this, and I didn't hear from him. I'm just going to say, I hope they get a hold of me, because that'll be a crazy miss. I don't normally say that about shit I make. I don't. Yeah, and you guys know that. When I talk about stuff, even for us, I'm like, man, it could be better, it could be this, it could be that. I'm kind of in love with this right now.
Dude, that looks
great. And I don't say that very often about shit. And this is a concept sketch, for Christ's sakes, and I'm like, oh shit, I want to finish this because it's badass, but I want to know what else I want to finish it with. Holy shit. I think it'd be a really badass.
Yeah, that works, man.
No, dude.
I thought that this might work. I was like, crap, what am I gonna put? I was like, I knew what I was grabbing. I knew I was gonna grab the taster. I was like, what am I gonna grab with it? So I went over to my Cigar Heads package, and I looked at it, and I was like, Aventura, freaking San Andreas wrapper. I was like, yeah, that may work.
Dude, the beautiful chocolate that comes off those tasters, dear Lord.
Dude, let me tell you the craziness of.
But see, this to me has a lot of herb, but it's not like over. It's not over the top herb. Like it's
a medicinal herb. It's a medicinal herb. Honestly, it's cooking. It's cooking or medicinal herb that goes with the chocolate that you don't expect, and it freaking works.
When I got my packs from Renegade, I was like, dude, I didn't have a bad stick in any of those. I had 30 cigars sitting there waiting for me. I had Padron 26s, Padron 64s, Adventuras. I had Aging Room, La Plencia. I mean, I was going through them like, okay, where's the cheapy, like, kind of like make it sound. There wasn't fucking anything in there that wasn't a banger. I was like, that's some crazy shit.
Yo, that's how you keep locker members, though.
Dude, I'm telling you what, though. You look at
think about it. And with you, though.
Yeah.
They know you're not in town all the time. And you're not there very often. But you keep a locker there.
Oh, they know that.
You're paying for a locker. You're paying for a locker. You're not utilizing the club and everything else. Yeah. You're a person that they know they can put a little something extra in there. And it's worthwhile because it keeps you keeping that membership.
Well, not only that, but when I do go there, like this last time, I brought Iron Root. I had Iron Root come down, and we did we had a private room. And some
And
of
I'm
the,
sure you bought other stuff while you were
oh
there.
yeah, I always buy when I'm there because
But think about that. That's a great investment because you're talking about it now on a stream. Everybody's like, "Oh, where's this place that takes care of you so well with your locker?"
dude, Renegade Cigar Lounge in Richardson, Texas.
Talk it up, man. Talk it
Dude,
up because that's what makes this world go
listen,
round.
not only is it a kick-ass lounge that has an amazing humidor, they have 3 private rooms for 3. There's one private room for one membership, another one for the other one, and then there's a basic room that has a round table that sits 10 people that anybody can request it. And you can literally just say, hey, you know what, can I have the private room? And no one's in
Yeah.
there, you can get it. And you take it in there, you know, like I had Michelle in there from Iron Root. Man, I'll tell you, Iron Root was such a good host to me. They did me so good. And we took some of those pours and went out and shared it to the lounge. And the next
And that's what it's all about, dude. And they
Yeah.
know what they've gotten you as a member.
Yeah,
And
so, I mean,
cheers to them. Cheers to them for doing it right.
oh yeah, I'll cheers.
Because that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. You know, and that's us talking the clusterfuck. We want to make it that fun experience where it's not
We
just,
want people.
oh, hey, jump on a stream with us and that's
I
it.
think that's the thing that, you know. So
I want to give you the experiences we have.
So you know, I mean, you guys know me. Like, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people that know of me, but and there's some I've met, but the people that know me is that we know the things that we've said in the clusterfuck, right? The things that you're going to have an opportunity to do, going to have an experience with, all that stuff. There's going to be things that's going to come out of left field where I'm just going to say, hey, do this. Because it's just my nature, because I want to do that. I want to have this experience, and I want to be like.
We also want to make it as special as possible, right?
Bro, that's because
right?
Bobby's naughty by nature, not that he hates you.
You know, I just think that, you know, when we have opportunities to do things, like, you know, things are going to happen, you know.
Well, Zach, I'm going to profess. I'm actually gonna do it because tomorrow I have to get Chris's box out because it's a high priority. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna just go ahead and send you the ton too.
Okay.
Because I have to get them done and get them out.
Yeah.
But you know, these needed to get in the hands of people. That's the thing. Like, these are so good. I mean, I think it's such a different when you look at the premium stick, you know, the Valor and what it was and what it is. This is
not what it was, what it is, brother. What it is.
I said what it was and is. We've been talking about it. But this is different, right? Completely different profile. It's not even in the same realm.
So I'm gonna break it out. I'm gonna break it out. You're talking about that. I'm gonna call you out real quick. I'm gonna solo your ass. We need this. We need this right now. From the man, the myth, the legend. I'm gonna be like the reviewer right here doing this.
All right.
So you're talking the ton is here. You're smoking it.
I am.
We have not heard it. What we're about to within the next 5-6 days.
Yeah.
That means they're coming.
They're coming.
What are these gonna cost, my friend?
They're gonna be $10 a stick.
So $50 5-packs.
$50 5-packs.
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah, and and
hell yeah, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, so this is a San Andreas wrapper that is with a OR Dominican binder, and the filler has Piloto Cubano and other things. So you have a Piloto Cubano filler. I mean, it's such a wild experience because for those of us that love San Andreas, and I am one, I know Zach's one as well.
Dude,
I like that peppery, that notes that go in this, but that Piloto Cubano that's sitting in there in that filler, it brings in this note. that kind of hits you. It's almost like it hits you in the finish. It doesn't hit you in the front end. It hits you when it lingers, and it comes back here. And for having this like big pepper, briny leather, construction, there's this weird kind of super enjoyable finish on it that's kind of like, what the fuck is that?
So what you're telling me is, and I'm gonna throw this out here. I'm coming from the outfield. I'm running in from the outfield to the pitcher's mound. Okay, and this is my realm. You're telling me you're gonna give me a stick for $10,
Yep.
right? That is gonna be up there with your judges, your Labijus, your high-end Tatawahes. When you're talking the flavor profile, you're talking that has more to it in my personal take on it. But you're talking their LE level when you're talking Tatawahe and you're talking My Father. You're talking LE level.
I can
And
tell
this
you right
ain't
now,
me talking shit. I have my notes here, and in my book, I have my notes on everything I smoke.
right. I can tell you,
I have more notes and more changes and more complexities than those cigars I named that I love.
Yeah, I will tell you this for sure. Right, the fucking band is amazing. Without a hesitation, no doubt about it. Not pumping it because it's ours, whatever. If I paid a certain amount of money for this and smoked it based on what it is, and put it in the category of things that I have paid for and smoked, where would this fall in a price point of if I had it, I'd be willing to buy it again at a shop. And it would be in that $22, $23 range. There's no doubt about it.
There's an LE cigar
I'm sitting here like,
yeah.
I mean, it's the construction's great, the taste is great, the taste is everything that we thought it was, but better.
I'm gonna throw this out here. It's a big put for me.
It was my idea on this cigar was that this was going to be the crowd pleaser.
Me too. Me and you agreed on that. I'm gonna put it out there with one that I had recently. It's been a few months now. It seems recent. God, when you get old, everything seems recent. But when I was up in Michigan and got spoiled like a mofo.
Yep.
And I'm not talking the junkies time. I'm talking when we did the special cigar event fundraiser with the junkies and with Klein that Klein ran for the Children's Foundation.
Gotcha.
I got to have the La Roma Nobleza. I really love that stick. It reminded me a lot of having this stick, but it didn't have the changes. Okay, but it had that ridge. It had a little pepper. It had the earthy. It had the leather. It had those things going on. I didn't get a real change into it until like the final inch, where it was like, whoa! If that would have been all the way through, I would have been like the most excited guy. But that was a $30 stick. This is a $10 stick with more changes.
Well, I think for anybody that's had the Valor and said they really liked it, but they were looking for a little bit more of a punch, like your dad and other people, this is going to hit that.
Hey, Bobby,
you can have a premium stick be a punch in the face, but this is, I think this is somewhere in like, when people ask me about the Valor, I said, hey, listen, this is a medium body, full flavor. This is a full body, full flavor.
But there you go. A great question there.
But it didn't start out that way, right? Right? It ramped up. It took you into the full flavor.
Oh yeah, dude. I got four signature changes on this cigar.
Let me rephrase that. The full strength, right? Right. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just hit you and go, oh my God, this is gonna be too much. It like works you into that. You know what I'm saying? It's this progression.
It's a progression with ebbs and flows to it, though, too.
Yeah.
So Joe asked, what is the meaning behind the name of the new cigar? So the ton, right? So just like everything, there's a lot of trademarks out there. There's things you can say, there's things you can't. But the one thing we can say is the ton. So if you look at the label, and I know it's kind of hard to see with my camera and everything, but it looks like this, right? You see there's an eagle at the top, and it says the ton 1775. So the United States Marine Corps was actually founded in Ton Tavern, a bar. We were literally started in a bar called Ton Tavern in Philadelphia. 1775 was the year of the inception of the United States Marine Corps. Now, I am a diehard Marine Corps military man, right? Like if you look at our last label of Valor, was Admiral Chester Nimitz, a Navy guy, on a destroyer. And the quote from him was, "Uncommon valor was a common virtue of the Marines taking Iwo Jima." So I look at things that are significant, that are in the military, right? Not just Marine Corps. I mean, the whole entire label was a Navy admiral. It's the idea of, and quite honestly, the valor.
Hey, there's some Marines on that label too.
Yeah, there are. They're hidden Easter eggs. But you look at that. There's also a Navy guy in there, two Navy guys, one watching and one lifting. So, but when you go through, it's just military tradition. That means it's like probably the second most important thing in my life is military tradition. Is the idea of the sacrifices. I mean, and trust me, there's going to be some bangers out there for every branch. I already know what they are. Chris is going to have some fun artwork ahead of him.
Oh, yeah.
Because we already have, I was in discussion with the gunny and all this stuff. Then I had a conversation with my middle daughter, and she said, "Dad," she said, "you have to have this." And I said, "Absolutely have to have that." So there's cool things out there. I just want to be like, the cigars will be a thought that they will always be to the cigar smoker. However, they will have a presence with someone that wants to pair. And that's where my heart is, because I think that when you look at whiskey and cigars together, you have a better opportunity in fellowship at sobriety than you do lost fellowship. I just don't like the idea of having 7 to 8 hours of hanging with people and you're not remembering your fellowship and your friendships. And cigars bring that into the equation, right? When you can have your cigars, you can have your taste profile, and whiskey can be included. But the thing is, you don't have to hit your whiskey until your palate needs it. The cigar will do that. And but the Ton Tavern is what it was about.
Established in 1775.
1401, and I drew. Yeah, no, Dustin, it's not that. It's just Ton Tavern. Is where
he's thinking Balvenie. But
Blake,
hey,
trying to kid us off topic again. We're not falling for it this time, Blake.
Hey, listen, Bobby. All I have to know is, in the clusterfuck, are we gonna have the crayon eater?
Are we gonna have a what?
A crayon eater? No, but we might have the listen cigar.
No, that's for damn sure.
The crayon eater. Come on, dude. The crayon eater.
We might have the "Hey Bobby, listen."
All of your crayon eating buddies, dude.
There's gonna be a lot of funny shit in the clusterfuck. That will be off topic. Things we wouldn't sell to just the public. There's gonna be some things in there that are gonna be not mildly offensive. They're gonna be severely offensive. There's no doubt about it. But,
yeah, the last name me and you came up with could be very offensive.
Very offensive. But
I just had to look it up to remember, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's
it's just but it's the idea of having some fun, right? I mean, the privates is where you can get around and have some good time and just cut up and have that reckless abandon of it.
Well, you know what? Like I can't think of a better way to engage with fellow Marines than telling them, listen, we're going to have a release called the Crayon Eater, and it's just for you guys.
And if you guys want to know where all this shit starts, I'm gonna solo myself. Like when I say I'm gonna show you the background of like
What we did.
how it goes,
Yeah.
like
Put Chris up there.
seriously,
Oh,
this was us
so good, dude.
smoking the cigar, talking about the cigar, and I was like, hold on, I've got the idea in my head. I'm gonna start to draw it. That's just a rough sketch, but like we're going to share stuff like that in the clusterfuck that you guys are going to get to see from inception to completion, which I think is awesome. You don't get to see that anywhere else.
Hey,
So
But
like,
Chris,
every
Chris,
time that I have a new label, Chris, you know what? I think, wow, this is a badass, kick-ass fucking band. My wife now says, where am I going to tattoo that? And I'm like, hey.
on your ass.
I
Right
said,
on
you
your
can't
ass.
tattoo everything every time.
right across the chest.
Right across your ass. Ass cheek.
She started doing,
That'd be a nice tramp stamp too.
she started
Yeah.
doing ink this week. So she's getting
Oh shit.
She started doing ink samples this week. She's on the gun.
Ooh. So is she like doing like the fake pig skin or whatever?
No, it's a well,
Or whatever it is,
fake
synthetic or whatever.
it's
Yeah.
a fake arm, yeah.
Yeah. They've transitioned to a awesome composite that works just the same.
Yeah.
It wipes off just the same. It piles up just the same. It's pretty cool,
That's
man.
cool. That's cool as hell, man. Listen, all
They,
I
they,
know,
they do the fake hands so you can do hand jammers and shit on them too.
oh, dude.
And she's
Oh,
learning, but I'll tell you this is the thing that I think is the most exciting. Is that Bridget is a perfectionist. She's very much like you, Chris. I know you guys talk.
Yeah, dude. I saw her sketchbook. I loved it, dude. I loved
She was
it.
in there doing ink on this rubber hand, right, or whatever it is, composite hand, and she has the greatest apprentice. I'll tell you that. He does such an amazing job with her. And he says, "Hey, listen, do this. I want you to do this." And then he's like, "Okay, now do it again, exactly the same, and don't come off
Yeah.
that line." And he's like, literally just taking his time. And he looked at it. He said, "Listen, that's okay. Getting the because there's like the little things that she's learning, like the bubbles and the little inks and not looking at the. You have to look at the needle. You can't look at the
yeah. Like,
I don't know. I don't
where-
know.
it's
I
where
just hear
your
her
focus
talk to
is.
me, and I can see she's excited. And this is what I know for sure about my wife. If she's excited,
Oh, she's learning.
and he told her, he said, "Listen, you're going to be fucking amazing." Because
Oh, dude. I gotta send you a thing that I saw the other day that blew my mind. When it comes to mixing your inks, they now have this really cool little pad that goes under your inks. So it's like 3D printed, and you put your ink cup set in it, but it's got a little cutout where you can slide almost like a tens pad under it, and you can hit it, and it does vibrations, like low level vibrations, that automatically mixes the ink and keeps the inks mixed for you without shaking them off the pad.
Oh, that's
So,
cool as hell.
so you don't end up with having to dip it in. No, I got to mix it up and put the gun in there to actually mix it up. It sits there and just slowly keeps them mixed for you without vibrating it out.
that's cool.
I'm like, that is a killer innovation in the tattoo world to keep the inks mixed continually.
Talk about consistency and
right.
Like, especially when you start to talk about like saturation. When you have a
Right.
large area and you have to saturate that area with one consistent color.
Yeah.
Like getting consistent ink into
Yeah.
the gun to tattoo.
Yeah,
that
because how
area
many
is-
times have we all seen that? If you got a tattoo where they'll sit there and they'll have it there where they mix it up, with the stick, throw it away, but then they'll put the gun in and use the gun to mix and have to wipe it off and waste a ton of ink to keep on vibrating it to keep it churning, and
which
then have
honestly-
to stop and wait and do that over and over again.
Yeah,
Now you have that consistent where it keeps it done. I saw that and I'm like,
but Chris,
that's
Chris,
next
think about
level
this.
amazing. That is a
But-
next step in the evolution of tattooing.
But you know what? If I'm tattooing and I know that I have to do that with the gun, I know that I'm going to waste X amount of ink, and I'm going to factor that into my cost of my tattoo. Now I can offer a $50 less tattoo at the same price because I'm not wasting my fucking ink.
Right.
It benefits
Dude,
both.
ink
right?
gets expensive when you're doing that stuff, man.
Ink is expensive.
Ink is not cheap for a good hypoallergenic ink.
It's expensive.
It is
And
not
it's funny because
cheap,
she had to
man.
spend a week. One of the things she did was nothing more than an entire week of cross contamination. She had to do this, and she had to go do this and do. But the good thing is that I have a fucking 4.0 wife that literally is like the most studied person I've ever seen, and she just looks at it and it just like goes into her brain housing group. And when she comes home, I can tell she's excited because she'll just go. It's like Morse code, and I'm just like trying to listen. I'm like, okay. She's like, "Are you even excited?" It's like, "I'm very excited, but you're going so fast." I'm like, my brain's thinking like I want a cigar, but I'm trying to be.
I'm trying to digest what you're telling me. You're giving me so much information so fast, but I know 100% that you're excited because of the way that you're giving me this rapid fire information.
I'll be honest with you, I've tried to be what I believe I should be. It's someone that's happy and excited, but not overly knowledgeable. I just want to listen and be excited.
Hey, listen, dude. All you need to do is be her number one cheerleader, which we all know that you are. So honestly, dude, you don't need to be any more than fucking Bobby.
Dude, I'll tell you what. There's like a die-hard fight right now of which one of the daughters is going to get the first.
Is going to get the first one?
So my oldest one, and you guys know the backstory of my oldest one that just came back into our life, and she's fighting hard. And my wife has already said that ain't gonna happen. She can't be the first. Because she's like, I'll just take a squiggle mark. And I was like, no. And Bridget told her, she's like, no. I told her, I said, listen, we can put this to rest real easy. I'll just come down one day and you can just put a tattoo on me and I can just tell them all, you guys are all losers. I got the first one. So,
I mean, that may actually be the only way to settle it.
Well, she said that's probably what's going to have to happen. The first one.
But you know what? Honestly, Bobby, the eagle on the top of the Tune logo would be a cool small little tattoo that, number one, even if it was like label size, right? Number one, that's going to be a small tattoo. So doing small tattoos is not easy, right? Doing small tattoos well is a test in and of itself.
I've got room up here somewhere.
But you know what I'm saying? Like just to have
throat piece.
No, I'm not doing it.
Not
gonna happen, Chris.
Like the death head's moth,
just throwing it out there. Neck piece.
Boom, dude.
I've got room between the tattoos up here to piece in. And
but I'm just saying, like it would be a cool small tattoo for her to do. It would be cool and memorable for you. Teardrops. Listen, man, teardrops get you get you beat up, dude.
I can tell you now, I will never have a face tattoo. I'll never have this tattoo. I'll never have a sleeve. If I can't cover with a shirt, I ain't having it. It's got to be inside the shirt.
I'm lucky enough to work at a place that doesn't give a shit if I have a sleeve. So,
Oh well, listen, I don't have.
Um,
I can do that. I just don't want to.
well, I mean, but see, that was always my worry. Like I always, you know, I came from the spot of my dad looking at me going, "Oh, you're never going to get a job. You're never going to do this." And now I'm to the point where, like, dude, it is 2024, dude. And listen, man, my employer doesn't give a shit if I fucking have my hair long. My employer only gives a shit about how much value I bring. And listen, dude, there were a couple of things that came up this week, and it was pretty funny. And it was pretty funny because we're trying to integrate this new company, and there's this manager that came from the new company, and this guy was like, "Well, I'm talking to one of the ladies that's like an existing already Chevron employee." Now, the thing that he didn't know is I had worked with her for 8 years prior to that, and this guy's like, "So, well, let's see how Zach's like skill set, and if he can actually do what we actually need him to do." And the funniest part was about that was Gail freaking responded back, "Oh, I've worked with Zach for years. He has the skill. Zach's an asset. He has the skill set. If we can find something for him to do, we'll get him to do it." The problem is I'm being brought into a project so freaking late to the finish line that it doesn't give me a lot of leeway about like learning what the fuck's going on. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, listen, if you can explain it to me and it's a process that I can fucking repeat, I can fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not a lot of I don't need to like recreate the wheel. If you tell me like, okay, this goes to this, all right, I can validate that shit. Not a problem. You need me to make decisions now. You may be asking a little bit more outside of my skill set because I may be asking more questions than needed just because I'm not going to get that shit wrong. You know what I mean? But
I'll tell you another thing that we did.
But it was so funny. It was so funny because at first I was like, "Oh, he's cool." Like he and then Sarah goes, "No, he's actually saying something kind of disrespectful."
I'll tell you
And
the
I
other
went back and
thing
I
really
went
nice
back and I
about
read
this,
it.
Zach.
I went back and I read it the next day, and I read it to some employees that came from Noble that worked with me at Noble, and I was like, I kind of felt offended actually, and I read it off to them, and shit, were they both not like, oh, yeah, that's not how you respond to that shit, but at the same time, he didn't come from where we came from. He's coming from this new company where he doesn't know anyone. So you have to, even though you may be offended, and I wasn't, I was still like, okay, like I get it that you want to assume that I'm some first year, you know what I mean, but I'm not some first year, which is what Gail confirmed because she was like, listen, if I have something that Zach can do, I'll pull Zach in, like if I know that he's there, you know what I mean. It was kind of shitty and cool at the same time. You know what I mean? Because listen, I'd love to work with the BU because honestly, that's one of the biggest onshore. That is the biggest onshore piece that Chevron owns in the United States. And listen, they owned none of it prior to the acquisition of Noble and now the acquisition of PDC, which the acquisition of PDC was about equivalent to what we owned for Noble. So they about doubled what they had in the DJ Basin there in Colorado.
I'll tell you one of the things that's also really, really good about the ton that we did is it is on point at a Robusto.
Dude, Robusto's my jam. I love them. I'm never going to shy away from that. Love it.
I love a great Robusto. I love a great Toro. I think they both have their standouts. but there are cigars that are better as Robustos,
Right.
compared to
Well,
when you
like
go ahead.
when this went from like the peppery note and the textile
Yep.
note and changed down into like the heavy brine note, and now it's kind of like if I had brine on ham, has like that sweet ham note underlining, but still has some pepper kind of.
Damn it! Now I have to go back to my book. You're killing me.
There's there. It's like I have like this that that really nice like Thanksgiving dinner ham,
The honey baked ham, yeah.
the honey baked ham, but it has a brine. But it has a brine on it.
But it's not like the
So you're talking the clove type note, but I called that clove type note in mine a warm, beautiful floral note that reminds me of a rich black oolong tea.
So this to me is like, well, I have a ham note that's coming through. Like there's that sweet ham, like when you have like a like
that meaty note.
that meaty slash somewhere
Savory.
between the sweet fat and the brine and salt, kind of somewhere in that realm. I did hear whatever was over there. There was some kind of noise.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, that was a loud slam.
Was that from the house?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard it.
Yeah.
I thought it was outside though.
That's why I'm looking outside.
I'll tell you what. I just went to go take a drink of my whiskey. You know how you take that like breath before you go in and do it, and I got like a really nice little kind of like an undertone coffee note from my cigar. Kind of was like unexpected.
I don't know what that was, but
There is a coffee note in here. There's a coffee note in here. Just like a nice, not like an espresso. It's just kind of like a nice coffee.
well, I got lots of coffee notes in,
like a
in
fresh-
my actual
like
notes.
a fresh ground coffee note. Like when you walk into a place where they grind their own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
It's not necessarily you could pick out a particular style. It's just
No.
overall it's just like a generic coffee.
Yeah, when you walk
like
in there,
roasted coffee note.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that was.
I'll tell you what, this ton has went really good with that Old Bones.
Oh, I bet it goes good with that.
Yeah, single barrel rye. 18-year-old.
Yeah, dude, that's got notes that'll go right along with that. Dude, that was freaking weird. I don't know if something
That
fell
was
over
weird.
in
That
here.
was really loud. I heard it.
It was like something hit the garage,
I wonder if it was
That
a
was
bat.
weird.
I wonder if it was a bat chasing a bug.
Well, there's no bats inside here.
Well, no, I mean on the outside. Hit the outside.
Yeah. Something hit it. Like I opened the garage door right away and went and looked. And there's nothing there.
You got the Old Forester 117 series, the Scott finished. I think I have that.
Well,
Not sure.
that was enough to get the blood pumping. I'm not even joking.
Oh no, I heard it. I heard it for sure.
Dude, and I have noise canceling on. So
Oh, no. It was loud.
So when you hear that and I hear that and there's noise canceling on my headphones, that's not normal. But there was nothing out on the street or anything. I don't know what the hell that was. That was
weird. I heard it. Because I heard it the moment you heard it. Like we both heard it at the same time.
Yeah. None of my cameras have motion or anything, so
I don't know. Yeah, I went through and cleaned up the lounge down here, and Steve
It'd be the wrong thing for some idiot to do because I got cameras all around the house now. Haha.
He brought down an over-the-door robe hook for my cigar jacket robe, and You know, I tell you what, I think he invests as much time in down here. Like, what can I do? Like this is like if you ever been up to Steve's, you know, and Steve's place is pretty like put together. And every time he comes in here, it's like he always brings something new. So
Well, it's his way of it's just his way. It's Steve's way,
yeah,
you know.
I'm with that.
And he's doing it for your benefit, you know what I mean? And so you know what? I wouldn't even question it.
Oh no, I like listen when he brings something in here, I find a place for it.
Oh, I know you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like,
Dude, I got something that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take down the
what?
I'm gonna take down the barrel head and throw up here. Just because I've had it for a long time and I feel like it doesn't get showcased enough.
Oh man.
So for years I bought a print. I mean, I paid a good amount of money for it too. I originally bought it for my son, but then my son started being a D-bag and I never gave it to him. But I have all of the jokers around a table playing poker signed by all of them.
You showed me that. That's badass.
You know, I don't know that deserves as much of a prominent place as what you have in that spot.
Well, I mean, I could always
I understand.
I could always put up this.
I understand why you would okay, I get it.
You know, maybe
You know what?
maybe
Listen.
you just need to change it all the time. Maybe a Battalion Cigars,
I'm
maybe the
telling
Marines,
you, I'm
maybe
telling
the
you,
Battalion Bourbon.
all of this started
With Bourbon.
because of Bourbon Battalion.
Yeah.
Had you not started Bourbon Battalion, none of this would have come to fruition.
So
Yeah.
To me,
he likes
I like the Bourbon Battalion logo, and I think that it
dude, it pays
deserves
homage
place.
to the beginning. It
Yeah.
It pays homage to the beginning. It may not be where we are now, but you know what? That is what started all of this. Without Bourbon Battalion, we wouldn't have Battalion Cigars.
No, we wouldn't have.
We wouldn't
started
have.
it all.
We wouldn't have ever done the Instagram thing that would have turned into Battalion Cigars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, Bourbon Battalion is the OG, right? And to
That's
me,
where it all started. Yeah.
listen,
for sure.
man, maybe you find other spots to sit at other times where those other things are prominent. But in my opinion, in this view,
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll keep that there, and I'll change my view from time to time.
I think that's what you do. That's how you show.
Because I could flip my review. I could flip it around to like 4 different.
Well, you could go to your different seating areas too, man. You have it all set up in there, and it's freaking amazing.
Yeah. I could have the Marine Corps wall behind me. I could have the old man praying on the stone. I could have the
and then for the like fun times, then you do the Joker. You know what I mean? When there's not a purpose or not a need to showcase that. You know what I mean? I mean, I just think that.
All right.
I would not take down the Battalion logo because to me the Battalion logo is the not the impetus, but it's the jumping off point, man. Like without that, we didn't have anything.
Yeah, and it's funny because like that barrel head and that stuff, I reached out to a guy and said, hey, I'm really interested in doing this. And I paid for that, and he made the Marine Corps one, and then I have a burnt American flag with the Pledge of Allegiance on it. And he made those and didn't charge me at all.
Nice, dude.
They need to be in your bar. So,
One of my college roommates, who was a D1 soccer player, became a firefighter for a very long time. I believe he finally just retired. He started a company where they take the old fire hoses and they make the flags, and they go all over the country doing that now, using the old fire hoses and stuff. And dude, his stuff is badass. Like, those things are cool.
yeah.
Like, I told him I want to get one of those American flags. Those are badass, man.
Awesome, man. Fantastic,
Dude, I'm a bit freaked by that shit. I got it in
Dude,
my
it
voice.
was pretty loud.
For you guys to hear that when I have noise canceling on, you cannot even hear my. You can't hear my damn air sucker right here.
Can you imagine when Bobby was outside sitting on the back porch and that tree snapped in the backyard?
Yeah.
And it wasn't little, right? It was serious.
Massive.
Bobby was like, oh, dude, he's like, you heard that? I was like, yeah, I heard
Well,
that.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't look over my shoulder. I jumped to fucking attention and flipped around because I thought something was right behind me.
Oh, dude, I jumped in my seat here and I didn't want to turn around for a second. I thought I was already screwed.
Yeah.
That's no joke. I was like, oh shit.
No, that was loud. I heard it.
You know, I'm looking on the camera here. I'm like, there's nothing. Oh, that was loud. That's awesome, man. Whatever.
Awesome,
Thanks for
man.
getting my blood pressure up. Woo!
Woke you up a little bit.
No shit, man.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
Good night, man. Really good night.
No, it was a fantastic night, man. I mean, for real. It was fun. It was hopefully informative.
I think it's been really informative. You know, we got a lot of good things coming.
You have a lot of good things.
We're continuing to grow. We've got awesome growth from outside groups, different cigar lounges in the last month, you know, different distilleries that are asking questions and we're talking with. Things are going in all the right way, you know.
The thing is, it's slow and steady, right? It's slow and steady. You got to.
It is, and it's happening organically the right way, which is what I'm really huge on.
Right.
Like I even said with the Instagram and stuff, you know. If you go look at our followers, they're all real. They're all real cigar people that are into it. You know, we've got other people following us on that level, and we've continued to grow at a really steady pace, which has been great.
Right, and that's what it should be, right? You shouldn't have
when you look at our interaction to our posts, you know, like I told Bobby, Zach, I haven't told you this, but when you look at the interaction on our posts, okay, we're getting close to 100% on our followers when you look at the views, but we're also getting 40% views from outside. But when you look at the views, and that doesn't mean likes, but you look at the views, our views are equal or just under our total number of followers. So our organic numbers are phenomenal.
Yeah.
As they're growing.
Yeah. Dustin, that's really cool. I mean,
when we're almost at the 350 point and we're getting anywhere from 300 to 500 views each post, we're doing it the right way. Right. I mean, there's enough stuff out there that you see where people have 100,000 followers or 1 million followers and stuff, and you look at their numbers, and they're not even drawing 1% looking at their actual posts. That says something, you know? Like, we have people that are actually engaged with their stuff looking at it. And that's what's important to me with the growth. So I want to keep it at that. You know, we'll never buy followers. We'll never just go on a mass thing where we jump on with somebody to gain followers that's a channel outside of our realm or anything like that. Because I want people that are actually going to be engaged and are into what we're doing.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's huge. When I see those numbers, and we're pulling anywhere from 80 to 110% per post. That's freaking awesome. Like, I'm excited, and like you said last week, that was not a stream when we talked about it, but our website, I've done work with that with the SEO and everything else. Yeah, we start out slow, which I told everybody it would take about 2 months for it to get where I want it to be SEO wise. But now we're like number 1 and number 2 when you type in Battalion Cigars.
Exactly.
Last week we were number 1.
We passed up Rocky Patel, who has a cigar called Battalion. We were above him. If you just type Battalion Cigar, we were above Rocky Patel Battalion Cigar, because all of our stuff is set right and organic.
Right.
That's awesome. No, dude, that's the way we need to do it.
That's a huge win. That's a huge win in my book and what I do.
I think so.
When I work with websites and companies, I want them to understand that it's not about massive views from people that don't matter. It's people that matter, and I can pull it back and look at the people that are jumping in our store and doing things and putting stuff in the cart. Maybe they're not converting, but they're in there. They're looking at the store.
That doesn't
they're
mean
doing the right things.
But that doesn't mean that we're not going to do things with people that do matter. We are. We're going to do things with people that do
right.
Matter. That but it pertains to the industry.
Right. But you're getting the right people. I'm not getting something from a video game Instagrammer that has nothing to do with
when I get the media merch from you, I have to get my media stuff that I can send out because I'm out of boxes and stuff like that. But when I get it from you, there's certain people that, I'm sending media stuff out for sure. Compared to people that are military whiskey cigar people.
Yeah.
And
that's 100% it. And that's how I've marketed it. That's how I've pushed it.
There's plenty of people that aren't military, right? Like there's plenty of people that I'm still doing stuff with that aren't. We're going to have stuff going out to Scott. We're going to have stuff going out to Eric. We're going to have stuff going out to
Ryan.
Ryan. So
it's all going to the right people. Good things are happening, and we're about to take off. And it's awesome that we have our second cigar coming out now. So we're gonna have 2 offerings available. The Clusterfu is available to jump into that group.
Yep.
Like the things we have planned for that, the things that are coming with that. I'm gonna start sharing some posts of what they are. It's awesome. It's awesome to think about,
Chris has some stuff that's going to come out to us to do individual little posts and go through and do that. We're going to do that kind of stuff. And, and sometimes, there'll just be a post of like, hey, why is this called this?
Yeah. Oh, that's totally going to be it. We're going to film all that shit. Like it's real deal. Like the storytelling is everything to it. We got to ask that question earlier.
Yeah.
That's everything. What's the name and what's behind it?
Right.
And I want to share those stories. I just don't want to be, hey, here's a cigar. I want you to know the story behind it. That's why I want to share the artwork behind it.
Right.
The Clusterfu will see all that stuff first. They'll see it ahead of time. They'll see it in the concept. They'll see it moving. And I'm going to start sharing that stuff as we go now too, because I think that means the world to a brand, because you get to feel like you understand it and you see everything with it. And to me, that's huge. And that's why with the Clusterfu, I want people to have a say in everything.
Right.
I don't want it to be like, hey, we're getting this for you. And everyone's like, oh, cool. I want to talk to everybody and be like, what do you want to see? What do you want? Here's a vote. Vote on this cool shit.
But, I think Dustin has something in here that, I want to say something more about. It's like he says, I highlighted a second ago. He said, do you want someone that smokes at least a stick or 2 a year? Listen, I'm not out here pushing this to just the heavy cigar smokers. It's the
Yeah.
idea of like going out there, because like the biggest question that I get, the number one question I get when I go out and do private events and I do all this stuff, 100% of the time, without fail, how do I pair my cigar to what I'm drinking? You know, and like I want people that like, hey, I want more. If I could have like a wish list, I would want more questions. I want more questions in the the comments and saying, hey, like how can I get a better experience, or how do you suggest stuff. Listen, it's okay for me to not hit the nail on the head, but put you in the right area and say, listen, you're gonna have to find what memories for you line up with what is good for you. But I want people like Dustin to get my valor, get this, because
Yeah.
I truly believe the heart and soul that went into our cigars was to bring out something that are very, very good. You're not going to get a bad cigar. You're going to get a really good cigar. It's going to taste really good.
Yeah. And the point we're at, I just shared the link. We got like 6 people in here. If somebody wants to jump on and talk to us too, come on, man. Come talk. That's what it's all about. And sharing. We've had great conversations and stuff that has been great. But if someone wants to come on and talk to us directly, come on, come hang out. We're almost 3 hours in. Just shoot the shit with us. Jump on. Doesn't matter. Because that's part of it too. We want everybody involved. And Bobby's right. As we get farther along with stuff, there is going to be the opportunity, and it's something we will do, where we put a 4-pack or a 5-pack together that are our different offerings that you can order that variety pack too, just to try them and see what you like. But that takes time on our end.
Well, it takes time
from starting to get to that point,
right,
to we can have something like that. Now we have our second cigar. We talked about, hopefully we're kind of on track. I think we're still on track to have our third cigar.
Yeah, because we said that we wanted to have
it's damn close. So 3.
Second one out by October, and we're gonna beat. We're really close to that. We might even beat it. We should be able to have that up on the site and ready to go still yet in September, and hit that October 1st. Where they're
we just got to let them acclimate. We got to do our herps so we can put all of our notes together so we can send them out to you, because we include those notes with everything.
You can put in your
I'd say it'd be the first end of the first week of October, maybe the second week of October.
I would say by no later than October 15th.
Oh, for sure. It would be out before we change the price of the Clusterfu group.
Yeah,
that you would have access to our second cigar.
Yeah, our tasting notes will be together. Our packages will be together. Everything will be ready to ship by October 15th. So and that's really the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the time we release that, there's going to be 2 more shirts.
Yeah, and if you're not jumping on
our Valor logo is too cool.
Our merch
and our ton logo is too cool not to be shirts.
It's got to be shirts.
They're going to be out there. They're going to be out there as well, because I think those logos are fun. They're badass. And why wouldn't you want to have it as a shirt? Right. They're pretty badass.
So where are you at in your cigar, Chris?
I still have like 3.5 inches.
Okay.
I'm your average white boy right now.
Well, we don't have anybody jumping on and all that stuff, so
yeah, nobody's jumping on. It's me and you.
We'll just end this.
Zach has done his Irish exit.
Yeah, we'll just end this, and then you and I will figure out what we want to do, whether we go FaceTime or IG or something. Who knows? But
we can do an IG. You know what? I'll start an IG over on the Battalion Cigars. Just to jump on there. We can talk about what we're doing there.
And I'll go get this published and stuff, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, you do that, and I will get ready to start that over on the other side, bud.
All right, man. Great night. Thanks everybody that jumped in. Appreciate you guys. We're gonna jump over to IG. I'll publish this and then we'll see you over there.
All right. See you, buddies.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Later, y'all.
Bye.